Nintendo. Yeah!
Happy birthday to you. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday to you.
Happy
Happy birthday, dear Joyce.
birthday.
Happy birthday to you. You get 2 directs in a week. Yay. That is a nice birthday week.
Yay! Yay! Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
Yay! Happy birthday, Joycey. And that was the intro today. Thank you guys for watching. See y'all next week. And that's the podcast. Welcome. Oh, yeah, that's not the one. That's the music for the podcast. That's not it either.
We're never gonna start a show on time, or the right way. We don't end the right way. We just have a fun over here.
All right, welcome to the Nintopics Podcast. We had to start it that way because our beloved Joycey's birthday is today, and on podcast day, and then we would have no other chances to sing for her on live on stream, right? So happy birthday, Joycey!
Thank you.
Yeah, you are a pillar of our podcast, and we appreciate you so much. Here's your gift. Let me see if I can give you a gift. I have this used tissue here, and then I have this controller. If you want, I can send it to you, and then
Send me the controller.
I'll send you the
Go for
controller.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I also
pass
have
it through.
I got this fake plant also. It's fake.
I'll take. No, seriously, I'll take the controller. Go ahead,
Okay.
pass it through.
I'll take the
Pass it
tissue.
over.
The tissue. All right, so welcome to the Nintopics Podcast. It is Friday, March 28th. It is the day after the Nintendo Direct, man. Why am I listening to two songs at the same time? The day after the Nintendo Direct. And we're only 5 days away from the Nintendo Switch. It's like we're a sandwich. We are the perfect sandwich right now. We had a Direct yesterday. Today we are like the hamburger, and then we have the other piece of bread, which is the other Nintendo Direct, in 5 days, and that's a really weird analogy. But with that, I'll introduce the all-star cast, starting with our guest, Nintentalk. What's going on, man? What's up?
What up? Thank you for having me. Happy to be here. Happy to chat. And let's just soak this moment in, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes the journey is better than the destination.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How's your hype level?
Oh, it's a 12, man. Yeah, I'm so hyped. We're ready for Switch 2. We'll talk about the recent Direct we just had. We're ready for Switch 2.
Yeah,
It's time. Yeah.
That's crazy. And moving over to the next story, the one this part. N64 Josh. What's up, Josh?
What's going on? So good to be here. So good to be here.
And hype level, you gotta tell me your hype level.
Hype level, it's over 9,000. Yeah,
Over 9,000.
Yeah, I cannot all my mind has been able to think about all day today is Mario Kart, and just getting to create content for a brand new Mario Kart. I can't wait.
Crazy, man. That is insane. We've had that Mario for about what, 10 years now?
10
years?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Think about where you were 10 years ago. That's insane. We're older now. We're old and pruny. But the next Mario Kart will be just like little with the Kings, what's up, Nintentalk? So and moving over to our next guest, Thunderstash. Oh!
Oh, wow. That was quite the introduction. Thank you. You caught me for a second there. I was just thinking about what you just said, Mike, about Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold up. I'm doing the math. I'm like, wait, I was playing Mario Kart in my 20s, and now I'm going to be playing the new one in my 40s.
That's crazy.
That's pretty messed up.
It
when
is.
I think about it. Yeah, that caught me off guard, actually. But yeah, outside of that, I'm really excited. There's a lot of great stuff to talk about. It was very nice to have a Direct this week. I think it was a nice bonus, a nice surprise.
Yeah.
And there's so much to talk about for the big April 2nd Direct. And my hype level, I would say, think about the announcer from Wave Race when he says maximum power. That's where I'm at right now.
That's a good one. That's a good one. And then moving up to Mr. Switch 2 T-shirt. I'm guessing he made it himself. Like he, or he was part again of the commercial and just not saying anything. Because let me see the shirt, Paul. That shirt looks too authentic for it to be like home pressed.
I don't have a home press machine, so it's either custom made or given to me by Nintendo. One of those two.
There you go. Oh, yeah, custom made, bought by somebody else, custom made, or given to you by Nintendo, right?
Or Nintendo could have custom made it.
It's not custom anymore if it's Nintendo. It's their own.
If they custom made it for me, not for marketing and distribution purposes.
This is a Paul.
It is a well-fitted shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Does it say Paul Gale Network in the back part of it where you have the size?
No. I can write my name on the inner tag, you know.
Yeah.
Can I just say I'm gonna miss Paul on my feed every day, counting down. Like it's actually got me really hyped.
Well,
Oh, you did start a new countdown today.
Yeah, no, he's gonna start the countdown to the release after that.
Yeah.
Well,
You started
And then
the
you
Zelda
gotta have
movie
a
countdown.
That's what I was gonna ask. Are you gonna have a Zelda countdown?
well,
Mm.
today
every day?
I did drop today the 728 days until the release of the live action The Legend of Zelda movie.
Yeah, I shared it. I'm like, oh, here's another countdown.
Woo!
You
But,
make the time go by faster.
I do have a few hundred video game t-shirts, so I always knew that I could pull off this 76-day countdown. But I don't have 728. That is a little bit too much. I will be doing a countdown for the Zelda movie, but it's not going to be daily. But there is going to be
Monthly?
a timing scheduled to it. So I
Okay.
am doing something for that. But
Hourly.
starting-
Hourly?
Starting April 2nd, though, once we have the official release date of Nintendo Switch 2, there is a new countdown for it, and it's going to be very different than this one, but I'm super excited to share that one as soon as April 2nd drops, and we know how many days left. Will it be like 45 or 44 or whatever? But
Yeah.
there's a different spin on it, but
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
a little bit of a tease here.
It'll be Nintendo Shorts. Nintendo Shorts. And after every Nintendo short, he'll drop in the pool.
There you go.
But it's been fun. Like, yeah, today was a great day. I'm doing good. Woke up this morning, still excited after the Nintendo Direct, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, plenty of other stuff we'll talk about. Zelda movie, oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
5 days until the Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct. Ooh, I filmed tomorrow's video already for the day 4.
We are now in perfecting slog. If you watch The Office, you know what I'm talking about. Perfecting slog. And then I need to leave the queen for last. The birthday girl, Joycey J. How are you doing, Joycey? And how is your hype level?
Oh, I passed 9,000. I passed. I don't know. I'm in a different universe. And shout out to Anthony Nelson, who has gifted a member to Thunderstash Gaming.
Hey,
Thank you.
welcome.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
love right there.
Thank you.
You can only imagine my hype getting up this morning, checking my Nintendo news app, and seeing on my birthday that in 2 years, 2 days from my birthday, my
crazy.
45th birthday present is The Legend of Zelda, the live action movie. I know we're gonna talk about it, but you heard me screaming from Texas. If y'all
I
wonder
did.
where that
Yeah.
ear scream,
That was you?
yeah, that was me. That
I
was me.
knew it.
I mean, I saw like the news. I heard there was an earthquake reported in Texas. I'm like, okay, that's Joycey.
Oh, that might have been me, but the screaming was definitely me.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. I'm happy with the direct yesterday. I'm just a happy camper. And in a few days we get to come back together and discuss another direct. You know, so it's a good birthday. I'm happy with this one. This is a good one.
It is a good birthday. I mean, this week has been crazy. Even on the movie side, we got the Avengers Doomsday cast, which is another thing there. And there's a couple of cast members missing in there. People want to see, but I think there word is that they're not everyone has been announced for the movie, but at least we know there's a large cast for that movie as well. Yeah. Hype level for me is I lost count. I don't see it anymore. It's like I'm looking up to the clouds and it's like SpaceX with the you know those rockets. And so I'm just really trying to wrap my head around the fact that we are entering a new generation, right? And so like every generation, it's literally a new generation. Because right now, believe it or not, there are kids who have not been born yet that will get this system for their birthdays, and it'll still be a current system about 6 or 7 to 8 years from now. And we're here celebrating that new system. And 8 years ago is when that the last Nintendo Switch was announced, right? It's just insane. It's insane. We were all in a different space in our lives, and then we're here now. You know, it's I know it's a gaming console, but there's like just so much meaning behind it. There's just so much. It represents so much, right? For families, for people, right? And so we're here. We're about to celebrate and welcome a brand new system into our lives. Then that next Mario, that next Splatoon, that next I'm not gonna say Fall Guys, Fall Guys. And,
I knew what you meant.
Animal Crossing, man.
Yeah, there we go.
And so it's gonna be crazy. So that's why we are, guys. This is the hype cast. Okay, it's the hype cast before the Nintendo Direct 2. Before that, we're gonna go ahead and start with this super chat right here from Nerdy Sept, the 199. Thank you so much, and happy birthday, Joycey. Also, bring NBA Blitz.
NBA Jam and NFL Blitz, bring it back.
Oh, that's usually Demonic Brawler's
Yep.
request. He said he's going to request that until it happens, and I'm here for it.
I mean, Blitz is made by the same company as NBA Jam, right? By Acclaim.
It's actually made by Midway, and EA owns the rights to both of them now. And EA hasn't done anything with them since NBA Jam Fire Edition, which of course was during the PS3 360 Wii generation. So it's been a long time.
The cool thing is that EA, they have their studios here next to me, like real near me. So I can just maybe kind of go in there and do like a Michael Moore kind of documentary. Like, what's going on, EA? What are you doing with our games? You know, show up there, just knock on the door, and with the, you know, so that's it, right? They got so many good IPs that they're not even, you know. So with that, we have our first topic. Our first topic is a recap of what happened yesterday during the Nintendo Direct. The one we weren't expecting, right? I remember during the live stream, I said, you know, guys, whatever happens in this Direct is still a blessing because we weren't expecting it. Doesn't matter whether our games are here or not. We weren't expecting it. It's a bonus. Everybody had moved forward past it and said, oh, no, well, there'll be no Switch 1 Direct. We were all looking forward to the Switch 2 Direct, and we were all there. Nintendo out of the blue, right? Because from rumor to Direct was like a couple of days, just a matter of days. This is like the rumor that was given that's been the closest to the actual event that I've seen so far. It's like 2 days, 3 days. Oh, there's a Direct this week. This week, you know? So it's not like, oh, we're expecting a Direct in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or next week. It was no, there's a Direct this week. And so it was that close. And so with that, let's go over what this Direct brought with it, because there are a lot of people happy. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who were, you know, a little finicky, like, you know, it wasn't their cup of tea, but still, there were some good announcements. And one of the announcements gave birth to another announcement today, which you know, without that one, we wouldn't have gotten the other one. And let me go ahead and here share my screen here. Where is the list? The list. Okay, well, this is not it. New window. And window here. Nintendo of America. And so here is a recap of what Nintendo showed us I was gonna say last Wednesday, yesterday. All right. So here is basically all the games that were announced. Let's start from the bottom up because I know the top ones are the bigger ones. So Luz Lagoon. I don't know who was excited for Luz Lagoon, right? We have another one called King Meat. I'm guessing these games were like those back-to-back montage.
Sizzle reel.
They were
Yeah.
the last games at the direct. Sizzle
Yeah.
reel, yeah.
Yeah, the Wandering Village. We got the Carol of the Goldmen.
No, it's Mike. This is the Eternal Life of Goldman.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you, I pre-ordered this game. I
Yeah.
swear to God, physical edition.
Yeah.
The day it went up, this was shown at Summer Game Fest.
Mm.
This is the game with the old man who uses a pogo stick. It looks like DuckTales.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, like legit. This is going to probably be really good.
All right.
Too.
Yeah,
All right. This is the first time I hear about it, so I'm excited for it now.
good.
And then Fantasy Life I, which I was impressed that it wasn't given it's like its own little spot. It was part of the it was part of the montage. I'm guessing because this is like the third time it's been on a direct already, and Nintendo gave it a montage the first time, and then they delayed it about a couple times after that. Then we got it's a Gradius. Am I saying it right? Gradius Origins.
Yeah, so Gradius 3 was a launch title for Super Nintendo
Yeah.
back in the day. I'm sure you know. And dude, love this. I love Gradius. Paul, do you like shoot 'em ups?
Yeah.
Shmups? I figured you probably would.
Gradius, R-Type,
Yep.
Yeah.
all that.
And then we got Witchbrook, which is like a little cozy witch type of game.
Yeah. Which honestly was huge because Witchbrook was like, we've only seen screenshots of it. I think it was announced back in like 2016 or something. And this was the first time it was ever shown like gameplay. So huge.
There you go. That is awesome. And then we kept the cozy train going with Story of Seasons, Grand Bazaar, which looked great also. We got Star Overdrive, High on Life, Saga Frontier 2.
Great games.
I was happy to see Hot Shots back. Hot Shots, I think that was normally a PlayStation game, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's called Everybody's Golf now, so you have to release it on Nintendo now.
Right. Right. And then Tamagotchi Life. Oh wait, that's not it. That's not Tamagotchi Life. Tamagotchi. Wait, there's Tomodachi and there's Tamagotchi. Okay, they're both different games. Tamagotchi is the little toy that back in the 90s we tried to raise, and a lot of them died and then didn't survive the day. So now we have a Tamagotchi Plaza, which is based on that little game they sell, which is like a little thing you carry around with you. If you're from the 90s, you remember that one.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, and so then we have Villains from Disney Villains, Disney Villains Cafe, the Cursed Cafe. That was okay. Natural Dancer from developer that we might be working with soon. I saw Necro Dancer. I'm like, hey,
Right?
you guys. Then we got Shadow Labyrinth, which I was super surprised by this game. Like, what the heck is Pac-Man doing there?
Okay, let me talk about this real quick. So, same thing. This was shown at the award show, the Jeff Keighley Game Awards.
Mhm.
Pre-ordered it as soon as it went up. This is a Pac-Man Metroidvania,
Mhm.
and it has what they're referring to as Pac, which is the Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And it was part of that show that's on Amazon called
Okay.
Secret Level. There's
Yeah.
a whole episode based on this game. You guys should watch it if you haven't. It's
Oh wow.
it's very weird. It's very dark. Like I was watching and Michaela came and she's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Some show about Pac-Man." She's like, "How is this about Pac-Man?" I don't know, babe. I pre-ordered the game though. I gotta watch this.
Why
So-
wouldn't they put the Pac-Man branding on this though?
I have no idea.
That's
It's
so
so
weird.
weird.
Yeah.
But that's why I like it. I'm like, this is crazy. I gotta
Yeah.
play this.
I mean, they at least could have added Pac-Man to the logo, like with his mouth open next to it, right?
Something.
You'd think it would help the sales, right?
Yeah.
The evolution of Pac-Man.
For real.
Back
I mean,
nature.
I think it's one of the most creative ways to use Pac-Man, right? At one point, Pac-Man looks like he's the belly of this creature thing, and then he opened his mouth and he looks creepy and stuff. I liked it. It was interesting.
Very.
Then we had this rhythm game called Patapon, and then you like do like different rhythms and stuff like that, or pop, whatever, you know. It was interesting. I'm pretty sure a lot of people who like rhythm games it looked really good. So hopefully people
It was
enjoy
a
that one.
PlayStation game, Mike, on I think PlayStation,
PSP.
PSP,
Yeah.
and was it on Vita? The second one? I don't know, but I will say it was very popular.
It did remind me of Parappa the Rapper. So when I was like looking, I'm like, it's a rhythm game there. Then of course we got a big surprise for a lot of people. Rhythm Paradise Groove, brand new one for you guys. To put your rhythm on, get your game on. And then moving over to the other side, Cosmic Invasion was a good one that I like there. It's
That looks cool.
right. It's like a very retro looking arcade Marvel game with all the superheroes there. Anybody want to comment?
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah,
our
it's-
recent Ninja Turtles, our recent Power Rangers.
Yeah,
exactly.
Now
It's
we
a
get
beat 'em
Marvel.
up.
yeah. Beat 'em
But-
up.
But you know what's different about it?
Uh-huh.
Is this is the first beat 'em up I've played. I swear I played all the beat 'em ups. I love them. I've been playing them since Double Dragon growing up. This
Yeah.
is the first beat 'em up game I've seen that has hit points on screen.
Ooh.
Oh,
Which it makes me think like, oh, we're gonna
Interesting.
get possibly a deeper beat 'em up experience here than just your normal surface beat 'em up. So I think there might be some more things to it, which makes me happy because it looks fun.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Yeah, and then this for me was confusing. The no sleep for Konami date and the Raidu. Am I saying it right? Raid. Blippity blip. The mystery of the soulless army. These trailers were so close together that I feel like I was like watching maybe the same game. Like, wait a minute, because I was editing the video to do like a recap, and when I got to that, I'm like, wait a minute. The transition was very weird for that one. But yeah, those two games were on there. And of course, Dragon Quest 1+2 HD 2D remake, another game that's highly anticipated.
Wasn't there just another? Wasn't
Yep.
there just another one of those?
Yeah,
Part
the
three.
Part 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you're
and,
supposed to play these backwards.
yeah. Part 3 is part 1, then part 2 to come.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're getting part 1. Did they announce a release date for that one, or they just give it a 2025?
No, you know what? They just gave 2025, which I thought was interesting because we already knew. We've known it was coming out this year. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then moving over to Legends Pokemon Arizona. And so they showed a trailer that's a little bit more polished than the first one. I'm guessing the response was a little better than the response to the first Pokemon trailer. They show more of the gameplay, more of the battle system, which I love, by the way. I love the freedom you have there. They showed how the fields are going to work, because they have the city, and it looks like the whole game takes place in the city, and then within the city they have like these little wild areas in the city where wild Pokemon live and grow. Because that was my question. I'm like, if you're in the city all the time, where are the wild Pokemon, right? Are they just like like homeless in little camps? All right. So they showed that, which is pretty good. No release date. I mean, second direct with Pokemon Legends for this year, for later this year, right? I'm like, late this year. Yeah, just say November. Just say November, right? Unless it's sooner, but it says late this year, right?
Yeah. They were weird with a lot of the dates. I feel like they didn't give dates on like anything.
It's
Even
weird.
Metroid, which is weird.
I mean, why would not give? Why not give a date? It doesn't make sense. They have a date. They know a date. Just let us know the date.
Yeah.
I think because the Metroid date is coming out on the release date of Nintendo Switch 2.
Switch
That-
Dual release, cross-generational title, and we'll find out Metroid Prime 2's release, or Metroid Prime 4's release date in 5 more days. That's my guess.
I
That is
mean,
my guess too.
okay.
It's gonna be June 27th or May 15th or something like that. And unless it is later in the year, like October or something like that, in which they're going to have at another time Metroid Prime 2 and 3, wishful thinking in between. I don't know, though.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, I'm jumping on that train too. I'm jumping on that train. And before we got Tomodachi Life, living the dream. So Tomodachi Life was, man, it was a very anticipated game, guys. Right? It's a super anticipated.
Yeah. Big cult following.
Anybody here? Anybody here in a Tomodachi Life fan?
Yes.
I didn't play it, but my daughters did, and I would literally just hear them giggling all the time, like hours and hours of just creating concerts and making characters fall in love and all this stuff. Like, and
It's
to the point
wacky.
that like I screen recorded when I called them to let them know, like send them the trailer, and they were literally losing their minds. They were so excited because they're not little girls anymore. So like it was
That's awesome.
it's a huge nostalgia thing, and it's just really cool to see that, like, it was really a part of their childhood. And so they were like 2026. They were so bummed about that, but
I mean that's awesome. I see the attraction of Tomodachi Life because that's like it feels like just a laid back funny game to you to relax and to have fun and just laugh a little bit, right? Things that happen there, there might be little side quest. It doesn't, because I saw a comment that said, what's the big idea for Tomodachi Life? Why is it it's just a feel good game. It's one of those feel good games that you just play and have fun and laugh and
Then what's the point of Animal Crossing then?
it's very quirky.
It's just that's no shade to that person, but that's just an interesting perspective. I mean,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Because I'm like, all games are supposed to have some kind of feel good something about them.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about Tomodachi Life, sorry, I didn't mean to cut off.
No, you're good.
Before, we were thinking, how many more 10 million sellers does Nintendo Switch have of games that we know about that are yet to be released? And I was like, okay, well, Pokemon Legends ZA, that's going to be another 10 million seller. Any more? Mario Party Jamboree will probably get to that 10 million mark. But what else? Tomodachi Life, probably. The one on 3DS is close to 7 million, if I'm not mistaken, like a 6.7 or something like that. So, as you know, almost everything that has come out on past Nintendo consoles ended up having its best-selling version on Nintendo Switch. So, we might be looking at another 10 million seller. And I actually do like that a couple of these heavy hitters are coming out in 2026, because that means a longer tail end of Nintendo Switch itself also selling, also being on the market, because yes, these games will be able to be sold on or played on Nintendo Switch 2, but they have to also be on Nintendo Switch. And they also have to be available to a more affordable, bigger install base and then a potential install base, because not everyone's going to be able to buy Nintendo Switch 2 because Nintendo could only make 22 million of them in the first year. Thus, more people will actually still be buying new Nintendo Switch consoles here 9 years in. More and more evidence to say, dude, it's hitting 160 million. It's a lock.
For sure.
Anyways, that's my little...
Well, I'm going to piggyback off that, Paul,
Yo.
because actually some of the things you just said, I was kind of laughing because it's exactly what I was going to say. And I had one of my subscribers and members, he left a comment on the last podcast video, and he said, Tomodachi Life will sell 25 to 30 million copies. Watch. And at first I'm like, I mean, that's a lot. I'm thinking, Craig, that's a lot. But I started thinking about the numbers, right? And again, about what you said there, it sold 6.72 million copies on 3DS, which has an final install base of roughly 76 million units, meaning it had an attach rate of 11.3%. So I told him we got to keep in mind that this was before the cozy genre really took off around 2020. So now you have the cozy and social simulation, because this game, Tomodachi Life, its official genre is social simulation.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. But those have kind of bloomed, obviously, since then. And now cozy and social simulation games are like blending together. So then you think about it with Switch, right? Install base is roughly 155 million. If it hypothetically had the same attach rate, 11.3%, it would sell 17.5 million copies. But given the, of course, genre's rise in popularity and the fact that both Switch 1 and Switch 2 owners will be buying it, I'm like, hey, you know what? Your 25 to 30 million quote actually could happen. Like just looking at the numbers alone, saying that the 11.3% doesn't even rise. You're at 17.5 million. So 10 million, no doubt, right? Does that seem like a pretty good lock with that install base?
Yeah,
for sure.
The memes alone are going to sell, so many millions. Like, I mean, we're already seeing like me's have ears, right? Like, everybody's tweeting that picture of that giant me looking at the during the dream. That was the one thing my daughters kept saying. Are the dreams back? So apparently the dreams are like another really weird feature to this game where like, you can see your other characters in the game like gigantic and whatever else. Like I don't even know, but they were naming all the stuff and asking if it was there. So that fan base. And I mean, they even showed like the difference in likes on the post on X from like Tomodachi versus Metroid, and it was like Metroid needs some love because Tomodachi Life just blew it out of the water. Not that it's a competition, but like the fan base is definitely there for that game.
For sure. And before we proceed, I want to do a huge shout out to speaking of Metroid, free Metroid hat. I want a free Metroid hat. Since I know we are getting Call of Duty on Switch 2, but will we think we get Battlefield on Switch 2 at some point? I say yeah. Why not? Right? What do you guys think?
Is it still
Bad Company
super popular?
No.
It's not, but currently being worked on by the one of the fathers of Halo, of Master Chief.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's heading up one of the teams that's it's Marcus something. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head, but did that game Disintegration that was put out by Private Division.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he's in charge. So they're not in charge, but he's one of the higher ups on that series now. So it's in good hands.
I mean,
it's going to be a race to Switch 2. What first person shooter is going to like take off and get a community?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right. And it's I think it's going to go down to who jumps in on Switch 2 first. I mean, we know that 10-year deal with Microsoft, so we might even see Call of Duty at the Switch 2 presentation representing that third-party support, right? So yeah, I think Battlefield will eventually make it a Switch 2 as well. If Call of Duty is going to be on there, Battlefield is going to want to be on there as well, trying to get that that install base that hopefully migrates from Switch 1 to Switch 2. So yeah, great question.
I concur. The new Battlefield, when it comes out, good chance. Not Battlefield 2042.
And then another super jab by free Metroid hat. I mean, I need to get that free Metroid hat and then wear it in the next podcast.
Free hat.
Do we think the new Perfect Dark will be in the Switch 2 Direct? It will be so cool if we do.
I have a thought process on that.
Okay.
My thought process is, I don't know, and this kind of ties into another question I saw in chat about Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I don't know how many more remakes we're going to be getting, or remasters, or ports, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And y'all know I've been screaming this from the rooftops since Mike started this podcast, and that is, if you're not going to at this point, just put it on NSO. If you're not going to really remake it and make it something special. And we usually talk about that in reference to Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, because in my opinion, if you're not going to do anything spectacular, just port them over and put them on NSO or something like that. And I kind of don't know if Nintendo's going to do that for Switch 2. A week ago, I would have said, oh yeah, it's totally possible for these ports and things to show up, and it still is possible. I just kind of feel like yesterday would have been the day for that.
Yeah.
Switch 1 stuff, and I feel like next week we're going to see brand new, or at least majority brand new everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. I also expect third-party support. Like third-party developers who want to breathe new life.
They're going to go ham next week.
Yeah, like I know Final Fantasy 7 remake will get a new life on Switch, right? And so will other games that are currently out, Elden Ring, and all these predictive games. So, anybody in the cast correct me if I'm wrong. Is Perfect Dark? Is this a current game now? Do they have a new game?
Yes.
They're talking about the new Perfect Dark in development.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a trailer. There's a trailer out. It looks good.
So this is the one that Metroid had is referred to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It looks like it's still a little far off, but
it is. It is the first quad A studio. That's what they're claiming.
Yeah.
It's from the very first quadruple A studio. I mentioned this yesterday on Nate's podcast about wanting to see Joanna Dark in Smash, and somebody in the comments said, I want to be able to punch her in her square man jaw.
All right.
Awesome. I love it.
We got Trevoy with the 199 Zelda remake at Switch 2 Direct. Love the channel. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I love that art for Link. So yeah, what do you guys think? Remake Zelda Switch 2 Direct? I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I have it on my bingo card.
Bingo card.
I'm expecting a remake remaster.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be surprised as possible. Like, if it shows up, I want to be surprised. I'm gonna say no, just for myself.
Zelda's been a big. Oh, Joyce, you about to talk? Go ahead, Joyce.
Hey, sorry. No, go ahead.
Okay, I'll try to keep mine short. Zelda's been a big part of every pre-Nintendo console. In the VHS marketing of the Nintendo 64 and the early screenshots in magazines of N64, Zelda 64 was shown. When the GameCube was shown off at Space World, that classic shot of Link and Ganondorf was shown off just to show what GameCube is capable of. For Wii, one of the launch games was Twilight Princess. For Wii U, a year and a half before it came out, they had that Zelda Wii U tech demo at E3 2011. For Nintendo Switch, it launched with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So you can see that Nintendo likes to release a Nintendo console more often than not, kind of, with a Zelda game, or use a Nintendo console to show off what Zelda could look like. So I think we get Zelda in some capacity next week. Whether it's a remake, an improved HD, more than just HD-ified port, or a tease at something new. I don't know what the final answer is for that, but I think we see Zelda next week in some capacity. And I agree. Struggle with excitement over anything Zelda next week, because I think we've gotten so spoiled with Zelda this whole generation that, like, I understand if y'all don't have anything ready, but I think we do.
So I do want to tweak a little bit of what I said before, because I did not, in my own equation as Zelda's mama, I did not put Zelda in the equation. So exactly, because Twilight Princess, in my opinion, Wind Waker was beautiful when it came out. HD perfected that beauty, and I just can't imagine. And we don't want to change anything about the game, right? So I just can't see them doing anything else other than making it like 4K or something special like that, or remaking it from the bottom up, but it's still the same game. So if they're doing something like that with Zelda, I can see that happening. When I think of like other ports and remasters, I'm not necessarily thinking about okay, so Zelda's excluded from that. That's my point. Zelda's excluded from that because Zelda will just show up just randomly, like it'll just randomly come up as on your app, just saying when the movie's coming out. Random stuff happens with Zelda.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Any other thoughts, guys, on this super chat?
I'll echo just what Paul said, and we talked about it a couple times this week on the other podcasts as well, and Yeah, it's literally it's on my bingo card. There is historical precedence for this. I know the VHS tape Paul's talking about. It's in my VCR right now in my living room. Like legit, it's the Nintendo Power N64 promo tape. That thing got me extremely hyped growing up. I'm sure it did for you too, Paul.
Oh yeah.
Especially
Opening that dome and having to try for it. I watched that so many times. Rewind and play, rewind and play.
That was huge. But there's so many reasons for it. But at the same time, one of the reasons I think that you have to at least tease The Legend of Zelda in some way is that if you don't, the general consumer will think that you're not making Zelda games anymore. They'll wonder why isn't Zelda here? Are they not doing it anymore? Like, why would they show Mario and these other games but not The Legend of Zelda? They get confused very easily on things like this if they're not into it like we are. So I think at the least you have to tease The Legend of Zelda, but I do believe there's a remake remaster that's going to be coming out, a 3D. Paul, are you looking at 3D Zelda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you got to show off the technical prowess.
Exactly.
Wait a minute.
Do you remember old school video game console boxes where on the back of the box it shows screenshots of upcoming games, especially with something like Nintendo 64 that only launched with a couple screenshots of games coming up. Like that Nintendo Switch 2 box, I hope on the back has a dozen screenshots with titles next to it of games coming to Nintendo Switch first and or third party for the next 12 months to come. So when you flip that box around, you're like, dang, there's some cool stuff on the way.
Would love to see
Market your games in advance.
Did Nintendo do that with Switch?
No.
So what?
Wow, it's been a while.
Because I don't see them doing it with Switch 2 either, like the box.
I'm recommending them do it.
Actually, I probably don't think they'll do it, but I would give my highest recommendation though that you should, no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
I got a question for y'all. So, for next week for Zelda, because the announcement of the movie's date came out today, I'm like, now I kind of feel like because I was team no Zelda anything this year, and that's fine, blah blah blah. And I'm like, with the movie coming out, I think it's a possibility we could see a teaser next week. I just wanted to throw that in there in the mix.
I think that we might see the cast. I mean, they started filming. They started filming it in January 6th. The movie they started filming. Like production started on January 5th. It's been what already 3 months? Yeah, 3 months. 3 months into production. Yeah, I don't doubt there could be a teaser. One of those teasers showing the because we'll jump into that because that's the topic we're going now about the Zelda thing. But yeah, let's wait for that because I have a lot to say on that. But shout out to Nintendo Prime. Nintendo Prime.
He's 100% correct.
Hyrule Warriors, please, and Xeno Warriors.
He's right.
Nintendo Prime is the baby that Nate had with Bird.
And that's how rumors get started. Okay.
Real quick on that last topic, my gut feeling is that we're going to see anything that was a top 10 in sales. We're going to see some kind of evidence of. So Zelda, Animal Crossing, maybe Smash even.
Don't
Smash
do that
might
to
be
me.
the one that but I think I mean they wrote the handbook on how to launch a system when they had no support. Now with full support, they need to just smash that gas pedal. And if you're gonna have people rushing out, even if Zelda and Animal Crossing and Smash are year 2, you're still gonna have people out wanting to play it. And especially if they say, oh, and in New Horizons, like your island can be twice the size potentially, or something along those. Like if there's any kind of Switch 2 upgrades to any of these older games, that's also going to get people rushing out to go buy the consoles. So
yeah, I agree. But Nintentalk, I completely am on board with them showing Animal Crossing in this direct.
I would lose my shit. So I'm on like two camps. I'm thinking Nintendo, like realistically, I'm thinking Nintendo's going to be pretty reserved, or they're going to say, we got Zelda, we got Mario Kart, Animal Crossing. Yeah, of course. It's going to be on the, or they're just going to focus on the console and maybe the launch lineup and then save the bigger announcements for summer.
Yeah.
But so I'm thinking they're more on the reserve side, but at this point, man, you're starting the console's life out with the best-selling game on Switch. So it's like, why wouldn't they? But
listen. I keep telling people, Animal Crossing is a system seller, right?
Oh yeah.
People keep saying, "Oh, that's because of 2020." Yes, and yes, because 2020 was one of the most difficult times in the human history, and that game was such a comfort for so many people, creating this moment of just, that they will never forget. That game was comfort. So now that those fans are loyal to Animal Crossing, just like when I was a kid, I fell in love with Mario, Super Mario Brothers 1-1. Why do I still love it today? Because it created a moment. It was something that from my childhood that I still bring with me today. That Animal Crossing was that game in 2020 for countless of people. So those same fans are still alive today. Oh, hopefully they're alive today. And then they will buy Animal Crossing than that next New Horizons 2 or Bigger Horizon or whatever they decide to call it. And so I feel like I expect at least some type of teaser on that. And then Tom Nook takes the microphone, he says his thing, and then that's it. Something like that, right? And they'll look at 2026 or whatever. But I expect Animal Crossing to be part of Switch 2. Let's get over the last one on this Nintendo Direct so we can move over to Switch 2. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Woo! For the win.
Yes.
Was bigger. We got a bigger trailer. The game looked amazing, but at least for me, I'm still on the fence.
Yep.
I'm still not 100% convinced how this Metroid Prime Beyond will be the breakout game. Compared to Metroid Prime 2, 3. It's like when I saw Metroid Prime. It reminded me of Metroid Prime 3. It reminded me of Metroid Prime 1, the remastered. Yeah. I didn't see anything other than the Ultra Hand from Zelda. So I'm expecting Mario to have an Ultra Hand because Samus has an Ultra Hand. Mario's gonna have an Ultra Hand now, and then maybe Tom Nook is gonna have an Ultra Hand when he comes around. But
already got hands for them pockets.
When
$20,000 to move, this house over here, bruh.
Yeah, so at least in my opinion, I loved the visuals. They look incredible. I don't know whether they were showing Nintendo Switch 1 or 2 visuals, right? But if it was Switch 1, it looks amazing. Like the waterfall ahead, just coming down the waterfall, and then like the everything was kind of coming alive at you, right? As you were walking, you could see everything just kind of, and then there's so much mystery there. But when it comes to something different, like, man, I'm expecting Nintendo to give us that not to compare because it's a different genre, but that Breath of the Wild moment, that breakout moment that Zelda had, to break away from their niche fans into the main audience and market out there, right? And so I still have hope that Nintendo has not showed us everything about Metroid Prime.
No,
Beyond,
no, I don't think so.
And because they didn't give us a release date, and I'm like, okay, you're not giving us a release date. That means there's still much more that you want to show us. You just showed us a little bit of the area, and you showed us Ultra Hand or the Psychic Hand, right? The psychic ability, and you showed us a little bit of the lore. With that little, that did call my attention. That being that was up there, just kind of, calling Sam as the chosen one and stuff. So that kind of really did call my attention. So what? Anybody have some thoughts? I know Josh.
You are hitting the nail on the head, and I want to say Nintentalk. I think you put the tweet out that was like, "Why is Metroid sandwiched between?" Was that you that said that? I
No, I didn't, but I got thoughts too. I didn't.
Yeah. Somebody said something like, why was Metroid sandwiched between like a Disney game and whatever was before it? Maybe it was Pac-Man or whatever. Like
that was a weird placement. Yeah.
It was so strange. And I put out a tweet too, just saying like, what, to use for a video, but like the amount of responses, they were like, I don't want to see Samus with psychic powers. It doesn't, like, that's not who she's been all along. So it's kind of weird. And the other one was like, as a somebody who's not a fan of the series, there's nothing happening here that's making me want to purchase this game. And that to me, like, I'm sold. Probably everybody, I mean, I assume everybody here is probably sold. We'll pick it up no matter what if we have.
Oh yeah.
But we all want to see we want to see new people introduced to this series, and like, so either they're saving something that's going to be like somewhat earth-shattering, and everybody's going to be like posting about it and tweeting about it when it finally happens, or they are playing this extremely safe, and there's not. What we've played in Metroid Prime Remastered is going to be very similar to what we're playing in this one, So
yeah.
It did look like there was an elite from Halo in it. I don't know what was up with that, so there's I'm a little intrigued by that. But
there's one thing that they could be holding back that Metroid purists might not like, but this would put it over the edge. Multiplayer.
Yes.
Give us freaking online multiplayer. Even if it would, like, they could do something a little sneaky and make it exclusive to Switch 2. Like, I think that'd be kind of dirty, but like maybe they do that. But
yeah, dude,
because I agree. Like, yeah, it's a nice looking game. I definitely like watching this trailer. I'm like, okay, this is a Switch 1 game. Like there were definitely, it was a little rough in certain parts, but it was a really nice looking Switch game. Yeah, but yeah, I feel the same way. Like, yeah, we have puzzle elements now, little like ultra hand thing. Like, okay, all right, that's cool. But this game needs multiplayer to really extend it, grow a whole community with it. And like we were saying before, first person shooter to make it on the system. Like, if this is a launch game, you create a community day one. And I feel like that alone makes people get the Switch too. So yeah, they're playing it safe, man.
Yeah. And I remember the rumors that we heard from a while back that there were these big open areas, that look like maps. Where Metroid could, just run free and do, not Metroid, Samus could run free and it's kind of maybe part of the story. I would like to see that if it's true, because I know that I remember, man, Metroid Prime 4 looks amazing, and the wild areas look incredible, and this and the because I remember those rumors, and that got me excited. I'm like, wow, I mean, maybe they are keeping Metroid, but they're maybe expanding just a bit so that they can kind of reach a higher a larger audience, and not to compare it to Call of Duty or Battlefield or any other shooter or what's this other game, the
Halo.
Halo, yeah, but I mean, Metroid is Nintendo's first person shooter, even though it's like a puzzle and stuff like that, it still has that feeling where you're in the first person, you're shooting aliens and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that Nintendo kind of can do something more and they show something else. Anybody else have any comment before we move on?
I do.
Oh, go ahead, Joyce.
I'm sorry.
I went first last time. You please go first this time.
Okay. And I apologize. I keep disappearing. For whatever reason, everybody decides to call me now, knowing where I go for this time period on Friday. Yes. And that was Grandma, and Grandma's going to be 100 this year, so gotta stop life when Grandma calls.
Of course, yeah.
So I'm gonna reserve a little bit more judgment until after the April Direct.
Yeah.
April 2nd Direct. But I was like low key, kind of like. So for our guests, I've never played a Metroid game. I know it's my not so secret shame. I haven't played a Metroid game, and I said I'm gonna give Metroid Prime 4 a chance. I said I want this game to do well, and I'm going to give it a chance, because I decided that it's not necessary because Nintendo has sold me on it yet. But rewind a little bit, it was similar like this with Breath of the Wild. Okay, because it was gonna go for Wii U, didn't come out for Wii U, so they launched it with the Switch, even though it was still coming to Wii U. And we saw little bits and pieces, and then it was that presentation where they put that trailer out on us, and the world was never the same. I mean, the world started healing at that point. And and so I kind of feel like that's the moment that Metroid needs to have. We're going to give you teases, and we're going to tell you what she does and why she's cool. And let's be honest, the red suit is amazing. Let's give it up for a nice, good red suit.
Yes.
But I was just kind of like, Nintendo, you didn't sell me on it. You didn't sell me on that. Yeah. And that's what we need. And I'm an actual gamer. And I was like, we need you to sell this. And I was like, well, let's see what they do for April 2nd, because I'm waiting for that big in your face MP4 trailer that's like, no, this is the game you have to have,
Yeah. And guys, don't get us wrong. We want Metroid to succeed. We want it to break
very
out.
much so.
I mean, Metroid is one of the sci-fi horror first-person shooter games Nintendo has, and there's so much potential behind Metroid that if it does well, it can open the doors for now that Nintendo is looking to Hollywood with Super Mario. We got the Legend of Zelda movie coming out. Metroid is a good series, like a live action series to follow. Follow Samus on her kind of exploration or whatever in outer space or whatever. Right? There's so much they could do with that. But we need to. Yeah,
it could be like Star Trek back in the day.
Yeah.
It can totally 9:00 every night. We watching Metroid.
Exactly. So
and I cut off Paul, by the way, too. Before I forget.
You go ahead, Paul.
I think the game looks fantastic. I'm going to buy it. Existing Metroid fans are probably going to all show up for it.
Yeah.
Folks that were longtime series fans that are craving for the next 3D Metroid, which is the fourth Prime game. Fans of old 2D Metroids that maybe weren't as big of a fan of 3D, but just love the series so much and are willing to hop in because this does look to be the most grand Metroid yet. And then new Metroid fans that just barely hopped in with Prime Remastered and Dread. So you're looking at like, okay, I think 3.5 million could be it. And then maybe if it launches and does well on Nintendo's Switch 2, you're looking at like maybe another 1.5 million. So maybe it's like a 5 million seller at the optimistic level right now, just based off of the fan base and piggybacking on a system with a high amount of install base and piggybacking off of the success of being shown off well in a new system and being a pretty looking game. But I do agree, like it is one of those games that unless if it has something grand in the game itself to make it draw in a different audience or a multiplayer component that is kind of like Nintendo's T-rated version of Splatoon, where it's periodically updated and once every 4 months there's a new something added to the multiplayer component. Can it be the breakout? And I think breakout for Metroid doesn't have to be 25 million. It's like 7 to 10 range. Like if you get 7 to 10 range, that's a strong new franchise where Nintendo could say, aha, there is incentive and motive into potentially making a TV show, into an animated series, into a live action movie, into another big $160 million 5-year budget long 3D game, instead of pulling back the resources because it just doesn't deliver as much. Despite all the critical acclaim, this game is going to get a lot of 10s. This game is going to be like a 9.6 on Metacritic and all that kind of stuff, probably. But unless if it has something really big, it might not. But it's just not that guarantee anymore because it's always been a great series. It just never broke through. However, if the new mouse controls potentially are so cool and so fun, and it really speaks to the PC mouse control crowd, that might be a little bit of something. If they nail the motion controls well, it could bring in a little bit of that crowd, even though the motion control crowd didn't work super well for Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. But then again, that was a little bit of a different audience on Wii, which was, casual and core, but a lot of casual. However, I was thinking of like what else besides a multiplayer mode, and that's like if you got something really unexpected where you could take control of the gunship for the first time and fly around. And maybe it wasn't in a grand Star Wars Rogue Squadron kind of way, but hey, in between destinations on the planet, instead of just having this static image of Samus hopping in her ship and then going off, you're flying around. You're flying and you're controlling and you're doing some cool stuff. That's a whole other gameplay mechanic. That makes the game feel bigger and more grand. Like, oh, wow, I'm not just getting a first-person adventure game with some third-person ball-rolling mechanics and puzzles and stuff, but I'm getting a big, beefy cinematic experience where I can take control of the ship. Or maybe it's through voice acting and narrative and then how good the cinematics look like. Like back in the day, it was a treat to have an FMV in a game. Like you played to see the movie. And if you're playing to see this couple-minute movie, show up throughout it and you're getting like this grand story, maybe the story component could do it. So there's more than just the multiplayer, but kind of like you said, how are you gonna pull in some new fans? I think there's enough possibilities too, but I just really want it to,
Yeah.
For the same reason that you all have already said, we love this franchise. I've got Samus up here and I've got Ridley over here and another Samus down there actually.
Yeah.
Now you need Samus in a red suit.
Oh, that new suit looks good. The art team at
suit is
Retro
killer.
Studios is so talented, and I love it. I mean, you've got this classic suit. They find ways to just tweak it enough to make it similar yet new, and then you've got like this whole new suit that doesn't look dumb or out of place. It looks like no, that's something that she would wear. Getting a new suit, a new power up on a new planet. It's just dope.
Yeah.
Also, shout out Nintendo, man, because this game, they know they announced it way too early. And then it kind of fell apart. They got a new team to make it, and they're keeping their integrity, releasing it on Switch 1. Like, shout out. Like,
yeah, for real. Yeah.
So,
Seriously.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a good segue because Nintendo did something else today that surprised everybody. Part of the Nintendo Direct were not just related to video games. They announced a brand new app called Nintendo Today. Miyamoto took the stage and said, hey, we've been doing Nintendo Directs for 14 years now, and it's been a pleasure. We will continue doing Directs, but now we have an app called Nintendo Today, which will also be delivering news daily. We did not know how big the news they will be delivering until today.
Seriously.
What? And so that they made a statement. This is the statement they made right here on the Nintendo Today app. If you don't have it, download it now. I'm telling you, it's crazy cupcakes. This is the announcement. The Legend of Zelda, the live action film of The Legend of Zelda, will be released worldwide on March 26, 2027. 2 years from now. Just 2 short years from now. Now, putting that the movie started filming in January of this year, a year and a half shooting, because they have to. If you look at the shooting locations, I'm gonna go ahead and get that. Let me get Joycey, birthday girl's reaction to this. Go ahead, Joycey. What do you think about this announcement? Because believe it or not, look if you look at the back of the announcement, there's a relic back there. There's a relic back there that looks very, very good, which points to something they will be addressing in the movie.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
I'm on your birthday.
On your birthday.
On my birthday.
On your birthday.
That's insane. To me, that was meant to be, for real. Like, seriously, for us to get the live action date for the movie on your birthday was that was I'm like, what the heck?
Which one of y'all work at Nintendo and scheduled that for today? Come on, now. Secretly.
I got something to say.
It was Paul.
It was Paul.
Yeah.
Nintentalk put him up to it. I'm totally sure. You guys all arranged this just for me. I'm sorry. I'm I'm so happy. The other, say what?
The cat's out of the bag now. Yeah, you're right. We were all pitched in.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I know that there's probably certain little leaks and things like that, but nothing big from the movies has leaked. Like the Mario Brothers movie, nothing really leaked. And I kind of want that to stay the same thing for the Zelda movie.
Yep.
So what this little tiny little picture with some wording on it tells me is really nothing, because the Nintendo app is for fans like us who pay attention. We want every little bit of news. We want to know. We want to be in the know. You know what I mean? The casual audience is probably like, I don't care. That's 2 years from now. I don't know I don't care. But for us, this is exciting. So that's one of the reasons I do like the app, because it's kind of like getting insider info.
Yeah.
And it kind of feeds that need a little bit. And they said they're gonna update something every day, like things about characters, things of that nature. So I'm really excited, and I'm just excited about the movie, even though the Triforce is in the background.
Mm-hmm.
While that's a good indicator, it could be about the Triforce. The Triforce could be involved, or maybe they're finally making a big story about it and making it a big deal. Hopefully, that'd be nice.
The fellowship of the Triforce.
I mean, the fellowship. If it's called that, I'm gonna die laughing.
No, they confirmed the name was The Legend of Zelda. Not even live action, just The Legend of Zelda. That's the official name.
Yeah, but we don't know if there's still a.
No, there's no subtitle. There's just The Legend of Zelda.
We don't know that.
Yeah, they confirmed it.
When did they confirm that there's no subtitle?
No, it's also confirmed on the IMDb page.
That doesn't make sense.
It does. I mean, for the Legend of for a first movie, right? It's the first movie. There shouldn't be a subtitle because there's not really. It's the first movie.
I see. I guess for me, if I was just out in the wild and not like in the know, like with what's up at gaming, I feel like that would confuse me. Like they're gonna, like I don't know. But then I got to remember, our generation are the kids who already know these names, even if they're not gamers. So that's a good one. So I'm just excited. I don't know what else to tell y'all. I'm just excited. I have all kind of ideas. I've written my own Zelda script, so I know how it should be done. And I'm already prepare myself not to get mad when they do it wrong. Because wrong doesn't necessarily mean it'll be bad. I think what people are really concerned about is that it's just instantly going to be bad. No, the father of the Zelda franchise, Zelda series is involved. Sony likes money.
Miyamoto.
So they're going to do it well just because they like money.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Sony invested a 49%. That's fun. I love that. Like 49% was invested by Sony, and then 51% by Nintendo, making sure that Nintendo keeps the majority stake. For those of you who don't have that information, Legend of Zelda movie is coming out in 2027. The director is Wes Ball. I've been following this director for the past since they announced him as the director. His last movie is the Something of the Planet of the Apes, which I saw because I wanted to see his way of directing. It is a beautiful, beautiful movie, which I think that movie also has who will be playing Zelda. That's just my what I believe it. And so in the IMDb page, they have updated it with the expected March 26, 2027. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, Zelda games always get delayed. Expect a delay." This is not a game, folks. This is a movie, and movies, the only way they will get delayed is by maybe a strike happening. Something needs to be happening in order for a movie to get delayed. If not, they won't. It's not. It's not something like a game that will have to be delayed like that. So, they also have the shooting locations for the movie. Somewhere right here. Let me go ahead and pick it up here. We got Avid Arad Productions. This is the I think he's the president of Marvel Entertainment. I think he is, right? Avid Arad. Arad Productions, Columbia Pictures, and Nintendo Company. Filming locations. We have Los Angeles, California, next to Paul Gale. We have Devon, England, in UK. We have Baja, California, Sud, Mexico. We have Variera, Germany, Kyoto, Japan, We got Dublin, Ireland. If you guys Google these areas, which by the way, I'm working on a video where I go over every shooting location and give you some history of it, because it does play into the Legend of Zelda in regards to the structures they have. In Dublin, Ireland, they have beautiful big giant castles that I'm pretty sure they're going to be using to film certain areas, and like big giant fields as well. And New Zealand, which are the filming locations for the live action Zelda movie. Cast.
I already found like 2 of them that look just like Hyrule Castle.
Right. So what do you guys think? What are your thoughts?
I'm smelling desert. I'm smelling greenery. I'm picturing water. I'm picturing castles. I'm picturing a lot of cool looking spots that make up
Hyrule
and different races.
I said
Yeah.
shield surfing. Ignore me.
Shield
y'all.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
It would.
this announcement did not need to happen, but I will say it made everyone be aware of the app, because I did not download the app after the direct. By the way, can we just all agree that was like the worst ending to a direct ever? Why don't you start with that? Like,
You're not
yeah,
wrong.
I did not download the app, but after this, I downloaded the app because now it's actually legit. Like, I thought it was just going to be a casual way to get Nintendo news. Now we're getting exclusive stuff. And did they even announce this anywhere yet?
West Hall shared it a couple of minutes ago.
Okay.
I think I saw a tweet from earlier. Let me see if I find it.
Mike's just been following this for
Dude, I've been
better-
thinking.
since the beginning. Yeah. Right, you've been talking to us about this for months and months and months. You got this page tabbed for sure. You got it bookmarked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I did say we're going to hear something for Zelda Zoom because of the prior information that we uncovered, knowing that they are in production. So right after production, we know that a release date or cast announcement was coming soon after that. The next thing that we should hear about is the cast, because we know they don't want anything to leak out there. We want to hear who it is. There was a tweet, right?
Nintendo Japan. I'm sorry if this is like Grok is translating this. Miyamoto here. Did you get a chance to watch the video we brought you a few hours ago on Nintendo Today? The live action Legend of Zelda movie, which we're producing with Avi Arad, is set to hit theaters worldwide on March 26, 2027. On Nintendo Today, we'll continue to bring you this kind of information directly. Please give it a try.
That's crazy. We might get the cast through the app, which is insane.
Jack Black is Link. Let's go.
Nobody wants that.
No.
Jack Black needs to be Tingle.
Okay.
No, man, hire Paul, somebody that can at least act. I'm sorry.
Damn.
That movie.
Jack Black can act like a panda. Kung Fu Panda. No?
Moving on.
I got a good. I have a picture of a good casting.
All right. Want to share?
Yeah. I'll share it. Let me.
By the way, while we get that, happy birthday, Joshi J.
Thank you, Boo Mini.
Boo Mini.
Okay, this picture.
Let me go.
Present. Share screen. Here we go. Okay, Hmon. You guys know Hmon in chat.
Am I sharing it? I'm not sharing it yet, right?
No, but it should come up now. Hmon sent this to me,
At the stage.
and I think this is money. And this is a good casting choice.
Let me
Okay,
see.
I'm so curious.
At the stage. There you go.
Ooh.
Oh, get for real.
So, like, look at this guy on the left. I had to ask Hmon who this is because I don't know, but she said for older Ganon. This is the profile, and then of course Henry here.
Henry
which-
Cavill.
We all know Henry's actually a real like legit gamer.
Yeah,
So he'd be all over this role.
for real.
But yeah, I was like, yeah, I could totally see that.
I like
Hmon's
Henry.
always got the casting calls.
Man. And there's this this actress also. You guys just watch Planet of the Apes. Just watch Planet of the Apes. She's young. You could see her as Zelda. She's a great actress. And she was in West Ball's last movie. You know, so they have a connection there. They have a communication there. So yeah, the Legend of Zelda live action movie, guys, we're gonna get it. It's happening in 2 years exactly. The Nintendo Today app is a big deal, and we have to take it seriously now because not only that, but they also mentioned Nintendo Switch 2 after the presentation. They will be getting updates every day on Switch 2 via the app. So it's going to be insane. Any thoughts on the live action Zelda movie before we move on to our predictions?
I've always wanted it.
Section.
I think it's something we've all always wanted, right? Ever since '93 Mario Brothers, which I saw in the theaters. I know people don't like it. I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah, I love it. I think Bob Haskins and John Leguizamo. They were great. I really love the movie, but ever since then, I think we've all thought, right? Like, how cool would it be to get a Legend of Zelda movie since we were kids? Like, hey, if we can have a Mario movie, can't we have a Zelda movie? And so, you know, it's taken a very long time, but finally here, and I'm excited. I know everybody on this panel will be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
At the premiere.
For sure.
I was there for the Mario. You guys probably were too. Like, this is hype. I'm super excited. I try not to think about it a lot though, because if I do, like, I'm not gonna get anything done. It just consumes me, kind of thing.
That's the kind of excitement I get too. I totally get it.
Yeah. I am with Switch too. Like, we talk about it all the time, but when we're done talking about it, I have to try and like work and do other things that are productive, because if I do too, the time passes so much faster.
It does. That's 2 years is nothing, man. It's nothing. It's like you'll see how fast it'll go by. We are in March already, right? So by the end of next year, we can say, hey, next year the movie's coming out. And so, you know, a year from now, we have the Mario movie. A year from the Mario movie, we have the Zelda movie, which is, you know, countdown to Mario movie, then countdown to Zelda movie. And that's it. And then who knows what other announcement we get from here to then for later on. You know, Nintendo's on a roll. And so, yeah.
DK.
DK's
next.
DK, right? DK, the movie. Hopefully, man.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that's why Seth signed that contract that he did.
Okay, so I don't know this about our esteemed guest. So, Josh, Nintopics, please tell me your favorite Zelda game. I must know.
I can tell you. So but Joycey, you're not gonna like the answer because it's 2 games, okay? But I think
I like the answer. It's fine.
You'll know what it is. You probably already know what it is.
2 games.
Just
Zelda CDI.
Which one? Ocarina of Time and what?
Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
No,
is it a 2-parter or just 2? Or it's 2 separate games?
2 separate games. You got the first one right.
Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
A Link to the Past.
Money. See, you knew. I knew you knew.
I don't know how I knew that.
But I know, but I knew you would know. So there you go. All day. That's always going to be.
That's
always my favorite.
I love that. Nintentalk, what's yours?
You know, I don't know. I always go back and forth. I kind of think it is Tears of the Kingdom. As generic as that answer, but it's just perfect.
No. Like, it's so good. It's
amazing. Yeah.
I love that game. Everything from the way it opened, because how many cold opens do we really get to a Zelda game? Was that like the first one?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's like you hear the heartbeat, and it's just like the Legend of Zelda, you know, and then it's like we're there under the castle.
Yeah.
And I was like, whose idea was this? Why is the princess under the castle with only one guard, which is Link? And they always seem to get separated. Nobody's put that together. Anyway, Josh, what's yours? I gotta know.
This is such a tough question. I'm very much I'm very much like Stash as far as like A Link to the Past and Ocarina were such they were so iconic at the time, right? It was like, but even the very first game was the very first Nintendo game I ever played. Like I remember seeing the gold cart and like it's ingrained in my mind. Like, whoa, how is this like the arcade at home? Like what is going on here? But I recently saw somebody streaming Ocarina on TikTok and saw the
Nice.
part where Link is reflecting stuff with the mirror shield, and I had like forgotten about that, right? And it was like these core memories had unlocked again all of a sudden. And I was like, yo, this game, I need to play this again. Like I need to play through it again because it left a lasting impression on me, but it's just been so I was like a senior in high school when it came out. I have a picture of me sitting under the Christmas tree with the limited edition or whatever, and so but I mean, Tears and Breath of the Wild, like that's where it starts to get so. And even Wind Waker, like I mean, I couldn't put that. I was Team Wind Waker the moment it, even though everybody was like, oh, cell shading,
Everyone was trashing it.
Yeah, I was all about it. So it's
sure we weren't, but yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, for sure, like Link to the Past and Ocarina are up there. And I actually prefer Tears over Breath of the Wild mainly because of the boss fights and the storyline. Like I think they're both amazing games, but I lean a little more towards Tears. So
yeah.
I love that. Well, the thing about it is for me, Zelda, A Link to the Past was that this is a thing now. Gaming is life now. This is a thing. And I got out of it for a long time because I got people telling me, oh, you're too old to play video games and girls don't play video games. Yeah, well, whatever. So so the Switch era is when really the Wii era-ish and mainly the Switch era is when I got right back into gaming. So I love to ask people what their favorite Zelda game is. But A Link to the Past is, in my opinion, is literally a perfect game.
Oh, it's so good.
Secret in every corner, every dungeon is just lit. You know, the monsters are tougher compared to what I think now. But I saw how much better Ocarina of Time was, even though Link to the Past, in my opinion, is perfection. But that setup of let's have the tutorial section of the dungeons and then let's move on to the big boy stuff or whatever. It's kind of what Ocarina of Time did. So I feel in the future with this open air concept, the Zeldas are only going to get better. So I think the next Zelda, I think the fan base will be more unified on. At least I hope. Now I know Paul's favorite, and I know Mike, and I think I know Mike's favorite. But I want y'all to tell me what y'all feel about, how y'all feel about your favorite Zelda game. What you feel about it? Because I'm the birthday girl.
Yeah, of course. You know, I there's no secret that I started, not really that started, but more like I became a fan with Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, right? And it's like I played the first Zelda game when it came out, you know, and Ocarina of Time, and didn't finish that one, but I did finish A Link to the Past during the NES era. But I wasn't like you guys. I'm not really. I wasn't too much into the story. It's a game I played. It had fun. Moved on, right? But having played Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, then going back and playing the other games, I am enjoying it so much more. Right? I'm like, wait, this is Link, right? Link and Zelda, and then they went through this in a different lifetime. And then, like you guys know, the last game I played for the first time, not too long ago, was Skyward Sword. Right? It's been on Switch for years, and
I always thought that one would be your favorite because the story is so good.
Yeah, and it is my favorite story. It is my favorite story. I think that still the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is my favorite because of the exploration. I love exploring. I love how open it is, right? I love the freedom. But when it comes to the story, Skyward Sword is the number one right now on my list. And I'm still going back and playing. I started playing Wind Waker. I don't know whether I want to finish it because I know it might come out on Nintendo Switch if it does or not. But I'm playing A Link Between Worlds. You guys know that's the latest one that I'm playing right now. A Link Between Worlds from Nintendo 3DS.
So good.
Yeah, I bought. You guys know my situation. I'm legally blind, so I had to buy. I did buy the physical version, and I'm playing it on what's it, Citra? So, so I'm playing it on Citra. So you guys, emulation is legal, but you make sure you do it legally. Make sure you play with your own video games. You know, don't do stuff. And so I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I met the low rule area, and which is hilarious. And the opposite.
And did you meet Hilda?
And Hilda, yeah, you know, she's cute, right? I'm like, hey, there's another
She's
one
like
here.
a dark-haired Zelda.
Exactly. So I love the whole mechanic of Link turning into paint and going through the walls and stuff like that. I think that's very creative.
I miss that mechanic. I love that mechanic. I'm like,
Yeah.
bring this one back.
They need to do something like that where we can get different mechanics from other games. That's why my big idea of having a Zelda game, a future 3D Zelda game, go back into the past and visit different Links from other regions and borrow something from that particular era.
Mike, that was my idea, honey.
No, that was my idea.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a couple years now.
No, well, you probably had that idea, but you never shared it with me because I shared that with in a video that we made with Nintendo Land like a while back. So there, Josie.
Oh.
I'm gonna give it to you as your birthday. It was your idea, okay? Your birthday.
Okay, nephew.
Okay.
You next, Paul.
Yeah, my favorite game, and my favorite Zelda game of all time were one and the same. I mean, that was The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Already a fan of Zelda up to that point, but being 15 years old in high school in 1998, just looking for years at that point at Zelda 64 and Ocarina of Time, screenshots, VHS tapes, etc., seeing the evolution of what that game was going to be, the jump in technology from that next Nintendo franchise, because we saw it from Mario to 64, from Star Fox to 64, and now it was Zelda's time to go to 64. It was so big and instrumental. The game really stuck with me forever, and even though other games since then had better writing, longer writing, thanks to, larger medium storage capacity and bigger cinematics and stuff like that, Ocarina was so special because I love time travel. That's always been a personal time
Me
travel in movies and in games. It's just one of my things. I like that I like that aspect a lot. Revolutionary, groundbreaking in many ways, from analog stick control to the Z targeting. I felt that the importance of the game for the industry was there in terms of how many games ended up using traits of Ocarina of Time. So I gave it respect in those regards. I gave it respect to how well it adapted 2D gaming into 3D in a franchise, and then just a sheer impressionable factor of how cool Link was, that I was kind of in between his two ages, but closer to 17-year-old, and seeing myself in him and me just being hooked on it and wanting to 100% that game. And the story, the music, probably the best overall soundtrack, music and characters that you remembered for years to come, decades to come, that you would hum. And just something as simple as playing the ocarina with the C buttons and the B and the A button, and turning up the pitch and the yaw and this and that was just also so cool. And replayability of the game was great, and just so many things that held the mantle for 19 years uncontested, until finally Breath of the Wild in 2017 made me think, wow, here I am, young 30s, a long time has passed, and this game is capturing that feeling of nostalgia live here as a young adult. There's rose-tinted glasses that keep you connected to the past and don't let you move on past anything. And then there's, recency bias. But for something to come out new that hits you so hard, that is giving you the feels deeply as you're playing it, especially as an adult, when you've already been seasoned and lived a lot of life, that's kind of different. So Breath of the Wild is, once again, blowing up the industry. Many games emulating the gliding aspect and the open air aspect, and not just traversing. And it actually did something better than even the games that followed it didn't do, which was the tangibility of the game, how everything is interactable. You know what I mean? The physics was stunning. Once again, music and cinema scenes and voice acting and the power-ups and how different it was to a game. So I gave it props in many different regards, from how it was being portrayed, how it controlled, how it impacted the industry, how things that tried to follow it didn't always do everything better. But I wasn't quite ready to give it the mantle yet until by a year that had passed and being a couple hundred hours in now and realizing this is the most amount of hours I've ever put into any single Zelda game. It's one of the most hours I put into any single game, period. I'm replaying it a lot. I'm actually enjoying the game so much that after 100%ing it, with the exception of getting Koroks, every single one, I was having fun just every couple of weeks for the next year, and then to this date, for the next several years, picking up the game, putting on my little Korok mask that looks like Makar over here, and just putting a straight line and walking and seeing when does that thing shake and be like, wow, I walked through this area, or so I thought, and I never found this Korok. I was playing this game for 300 hours, and I didn't know that you could find a Korok from jumping over 3 consecutive fences. Wow. Why? How come I can't find this one Korok? There's no balloon over there. There's no metal object to throw in. There's no rock to put in. Oh, you mean to tell me that there's this other way to find it? The creativity, the DLC also helping, and the master cycle, and so much that it was like, finally, I remember perhaps semi-embarrassingly, but not really, I don't really care. I actually had tears when I said to myself,
For the Kingdom?
Breath of the Wild passes Ocarina of Time. And it was an emotional thing for me to say, whew, it finally did it. And that was at that 20th year mark. So Tears of the Kingdom in some ways tops Breath of the Wild because it does have like better dungeons and better, more colorful, more diverse boss fights. But there's something about Breath of the Wild's mechanics, and in particular scrolling and the ability to use things like Daruk's protection that was just different, and to use the Gale Force Wind, to traverse
the Fall Gale Force Wind,
the Paul Gale Force move, and
I'll allow it.
You could do more in Tears, and you could go from the sky down into the depths, and you could make your own vehicle to traverse, and you could make your own thing to fly, but just a different feeling, a different mechanic. So even though it has more, some of the less I liked more. And the stasis, some of those other powers were more. So you could say Master Hand gives more control, but stasis has its own level of creativity. And the bombs applications, you could say, well, both have bombs, but maybe I like certain aspects of the bombs here more. So it's like, better in some regards, but no, I overall give Breath of the Wild a little bit more credit, because I think that's more fair, and just overall a little bit more favorable in my overall liking of it, even though I love Tears also. I give that a 10. I give Breath of the Wild 10. I give Ocarina of Time 10. I give the Wind Waker a 10. There are several 10s.
It's impossible to tell Paul to pick a favorite game.
Over the years, but
yeah.
But I still wanted to hear it.
Breath of the Wild is number 1, and Ocarina is number 2, and then
That's fair.
It's a little bit more difficult of a decision going into like 3, 4, 5.
I think Breath is. I want to say that's probably the first big Zelda game that came out that had a social media presence, and I feel like Breath of the Wild captures the whole moment. Everything from Switch, all the things that we didn't know yet that we know now, we felt it then. The Switch is about to be a hit. Oh, this is about to be the best Zelda game ever. Or, all the, everybody's happy, all that kind of good feeling. That's what Breath of the Wild is special. But A Link to the Past, still hasn't found it. I still haven't found the one to top it yet. But they're all good. But thank you guys for sharing that with me. Nothing makes me happier than talking about Zelda.
Giving us that opportunity.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
I'm Minish Cap too. Minish Cap is good.
Love it.
Minish Camp is lit.
Yeah, love it.
It is lit. All right, so that is a good segue into our main topic of the day. Nintendo Switch 2. We are now, believe it or not, guys, we are in the last podcast before we are indulged with the knowledge of the of the stones, like a Marvel, the Marvel stones, like the Infinity Stones. It's 5 days away. All of our questions will be answered. That C button that stands for what? Who the heck knows? Nintendo will confirm. We will know what is the launch title of the Nintendo Switch 2. We will know. We will learn. I mean, I don't think Nintendo will go into the power of the system. They're more into showing you what it can do rather than telling you what it has inside. And so our Nintendo Switch 2 predictions, what will happen during this presentation? What games will we see? What is the new gimmick besides the mouse? I still think Nintendo is holding something back, right? It can't be just a mouse. And of course the bigger screen and the magnetic thing. I mean, I guess there's more. There's a couple of things. But that is the gist of the podcast. We're going to go ahead now and go over our predictions. First, beforehand, there is that rumor, the rumor of us getting an 8-inch screen. We saw that. It's a bigger screen. But the one thing we have not yet confirmed, is it an OLED screen or is it an LED screen, right? That is something Nintendo will officially confirm. I purchased something just to prove a point. And this little device that I have in front of me, let me go ahead and how do I do this? Okay. This little device that I have in front of me here. What did I do? I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did there.
You took it out of your own screen, I think.
Like
and
that?
You put us at the bottom. Okay, you put us on the side. I think you meant to go close up of yourself.
Okay, let me go ahead and do this there. And then let me go ahead and do this there. Where are you guys though?
Well, when you go, we're at the bottom, or we're behind.
There.
See you.
There you go.
Stay.
All right. So I purchased this little device here. It cost me about $40, right?
Is that the Miu?
It's a what?
Is that the Miu Mini? Or no?
It's I think maybe it's probably like a
Amber.
Yeah. It cost me $45, right? And it has something that proves that what we're getting is very high quality. Steve knows I released a video on screens, and I already showed what an IPS LED screen of this decade, or at least this century, this year or last year, looks like, right? This little device has a screen that is an IPS gaming screen. It's an LED screen, LCD screen. Let me show you how it looks like. Oh, I mean, you can't really appreciate it there, but this is an IPS LCD screen. If I bring it back here, maybe you can see how. I mean, it looks a lot more colorful in person. The colors are very vibrant. I put it side by side with my OLED. This is a lot brighter, a lot more color came through it. The blacks on the shadows behind the Mario. By the way, this is not Mario World. This is like a parody. It's not even Mario World. It's like it's one of those gimmicky parts. It's not Mario World. It's just crazy. But it's crazy that they know what they're doing. They know that they have an LCD screen from this era that works. Remember, it's not the same LCD from 2017. It's a newer LCD type. Well, there's LCD, there's mini LED, there's ISP LCD. That's I also have they just sent me a monitor this big. That's a gaming screen that it's 120 frames for whatever. I don't know, but it's also an IPS gaming monitor that is very comparable to OLED just because of the dark blacks and the colors and everything. And it's not OLED. So what I'm saying is that Nintendo knows what they're doing. It's a lot cheaper than OLED. It looks great. Once we have it in our hands, it's going to be crazy. The PlayStation Portal, I believe, has almost the same screen on it. It also has an 8-inch screen to whomever has the Portal. It's a very similar screen to that. And so that's the first thing I feel like we're gonna be wowed by. The screen technology they're gonna use And of course I went over some patents and where they did some kind of force touch on the screen where it gives you haptic feedbacks. So I hope that's going to be part of it too. But I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to start with the predictions. I want to give it to the cast here. Predictions for Nintendo Switch 2. All right. Now in these predictions, we're gonna go ahead and break it down. Okay. We're gonna break down hardware features. All right. Part 1, launch title. All right. Launch title for year 1 and third-party support. And then at the end, we will end it with the price and pre-order start date. All right. So I'll start with Nintentalk. Hardware features. What do you expect from Nintendo to bring us when it comes to hardware features?
Yeah, don't let the glasses fool you. I'm not a big techie boy, but I think the console will be good. I think it's gonna run your games at a smooth like 1080 60. I mean, it's 2025. Like that should be the norm, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's not asking too much. I kind of think the reveal trailer that we got that's playing on the screen kind of shows us what they're thinking. I think we're gonna have a lot of comparisons in this direct of Switch 1, Switch 2, because I feel like there are still people that are like, well, why do I need this thing?
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going to show off Switch 1 games. I think Metroid is a perfect game to show off because that game looks amazing, but if they can make it look even better, I think that would be awesome. We were just talking Zelda. I feel like that's one of the games that would be amazing to show off in like better frame rate, maybe better load times, better performance, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you're seeing the Joy-Cons transform. I think they're going to do a lot of comparisons with Switch 1 and Switch 2. They have to show a Switch 1 game running on Switch 2. Like they have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about the screen. I feel like a lot of us are talking about it just because that's the revision that we got with the OLED Switch. So like now we're all like have screens on the brain. But I think, it's a modern gaming console. I think screens won't be the problem. I tend to play my Switch docked anyway, but
yeah,
I don't think anyone's going to complain about the screen. So
yeah,
I mean, that's not a super techie answer, but I just think
it's an answer, man. It's
going to be good. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yeah. All right. All right. What do you think, Paul?
What's the first question? The launch games or?
Yeah, no, we're talking about hardware now. What do you think? What do you expect Nintendo to do? We're dividing it in three parts right now. Hardware and features. Right. The next one we'll go over will be launch titles for the first year, and then we'll go over price and pre-order. So for right now, we're talking about hardware and the hardware features.
I don't think they'll have kind of like you said, because I was still listening even when I was out for a second. I don't think they'll be like 3 teraflops, 12 gigs of RAM. Like here's a screen size and powerful processor, Nintendo's most powerful console ever, or maybe something like that, like at the extent of it. But I think it'll be plenty powerful enough, plenty capable enough when we see Nintendo's next iterations of classic titles or anything new. Like if we see something from Monolith Soft, whether it's another Xenoblade game or the one with that woman with the sword and like a little bit of a dive in that, we're like, wow, there is no way that would have run on Nintendo Switch. When we see just how much more in-depth Mario Kart is, you'll see like, dang, that is actually a big jump forward. And the next Zelda, if there is a Metroid Prime 4 version built for that, that's just going to tell the tale. Depending on what third-party games are shown, you're like, okay, that's not on PS4 and Xbox One. That's only on PS5 and Xbox Series. And dang, unless if I'm doing like a frame-by-frame analysis and all this kind of stuff, I wouldn't have known which version am I looking at. Oh, okay, now I can see that, yeah, maybe the polygon model is a little bit less, but like, hey, that's a capable system. I'm pretty sure that based off of who we know is involved and rumors of what games are involved and specs and stuff like that, when you add DLSS and you add 12 gigs of RAM and you have around 3 teraflops of power and other more modern components in it than the other systems have, it's going to be capable. What extra though beyond the mouse controls and like NFC chip still being in there. I don't know if they'll show it off right away, but I have a feeling that this system, with the ability to have a USB Type-C port on the bottom and the top and different grooves, means there is going to be some type of attachment functionality to it. Could it be shown right away at this Nintendo Direct? Maybe. And I mean, like, here's a simple secondary screen that you could put on top. By the way, this secondary screen can be your smartphone. Oh. And then that's how you could unlock DS. We will be selling a separate screen that's only $100 to put on top of it and to have your full Nintendo DS, 3DS functionality when DS and 3DS end up coming to NSO as part of our new tier. But even if you don't buy a second screen, we have a little apparatus that's only $30 that lets you put your smartphone in horizontal mode with a little bit of a boop boop and like bam. You know what I mean? Like, I could see them doing something like that.
That'd be awesome.
And that would be a way how to sell a product, but then also allow more people to just use it because everyone has their own smartphone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think some kind of secondary screen functionality will be a thing. I don't think they're done with Labo, but I don't know if Labo will necessarily come back in cardboard box form. I think Nintendo at some point in the generation will allow this to be a simple VR unit, because once again, you have the screen, you have the gyroscope and the accelerometers in the console itself, and we know that it's going to be more precise than the Joy-Cons and the Nintendo Switch were. It'll be actually closer, or if not better, than the Wii U gamepad was.
Yeah.
So once again, all you have to do is have a plastic visor with the, not as advanced of a setup for VR by having the dual lenses and the magnification and stuff like that, but have a little plastic thing that goes on your head and have the Joy-Cons in your hands, and there you go. You have one more cheap entry point into VR. It won't be taken super seriously unless if that head strap is packed in every single box from the start, because that's how you ensure that every single Nintendo Switch 2 owner has the ability to go to VR, which means there's the incentive for developers to actually make games have a VR functionality, because they know it's one-to-one with every owner that has the access to it without having to buy some head strap, dealio. But I think VR will exist in the system in some capacity, maybe not through Labo, but in some way. And I think a secondary screen or something like that will also be on. So there's kind of my hardware thoughts. Powerful enough, and some stuff will be connecting to it, but just what exactly, I don't know. But something that allows us to play more games, that's the easy answer, I guess.
I like it. Yeah, I'm on board with that, with the second screen, and even the part of the phone being, could be a thing for them to use NSO with, because I know with NSO they give you the ability to either you buy the controller, the original one, use a wireless one, or use your own controller. So having your cell phone could be their way of saying you can use your own cell phone as a second screen, or you can buy ours. You have the experience. So yeah,
everybody 1-2 Switch shows they don't mind you not buying another Joy-Con. They're like, hey, you could use your iPhone, you could use your Android to do this. So it is a different Nintendo. Like, where back in the day it'd be like, oh no, you have to buy this, and now it's you could use that. I mean, ever since they went to putting Super Mario Run and Fire Emblem, I forgot the subtitle of that one.
Heroes,
which was a lot of fun. On smartphones, you saw like this is a Nintendo that is evolving with the times and is allowing for other devices in capacity to function.
Yeah.
With it. So
yeah, pretty cool.
We'll see.
So what do you think? Go Josh. Hardware. What are your predictions for hardware?
Okay, well, I like everything I'm hearing, right? And I've been thinking cell phone for a while as a secondary screen, like with some kind of like Joy-Con attachment / or maybe they even, and I feel like this is going to be the time for Nintendo to get a little bit weird. Maybe they do something similar to the PlayStation Portal, right? That like if you want to sit on the couch and play, and it's the main thing is DS games and like Mario Maker, right? To be able to play, to create stages with a stylus, but and or the mouse. So that also that kind of throws a monkey wrench in everything too, right? The mouse functionality. I think we're gonna see more than, because I don't know about you guys, but we buy pro controllers because we don't want to play with the split Joy-Con, and I don't know how many of us are going to want to turn the Joy-Con on its side and play versus just, there's probably going to be a mouse that they sell if there's going to be a mouse functionality, right? So we might see something like that. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be too shocked if we did see something NSO related for GameCube. And just for the fun of it, I'm going to throw Wii out there because I don't hear a lot of people mention this, but I would love to see a a wireless GameCube controller and the Wii remote and the nunchuck make their way back as well. Only because I know how much nostalgia I had for the NES and the Super Nintendo controller, but the generation that grew up with the Wii, to be able to play like Wii Sports and Sunshine or I'm sorry, Galaxy and Galaxy 2, like that would also give us the opportunity to then play all the Metroids, right? And it would, the other thing it would do is give opportunity for people to play the very first Animal Crossing and bring Smash Melee into the mix. So they could say, hey, play these games while you wait for the next one, right? So I'm maybe I may be in the minority. I'm okay if there's not any other like big gimmick outside of the mouse functionality, because I don't even know if that's something I'm going to touch unless Nintendo creates some games that really work well for it, right? Like 1-2 Switch was a very strange game, but my kids sat and played that way longer than I thought they would. And doing the marbles and the Joy-Con and the HD Rumble, like it was the kind of thing that you would always show somebody if they came over to see the Switch for the first time, right? But outside of that, it wasn't something we were always playing. So if they kind of like Nintendo Land with the Wii U, right? Like that was such a great use of the Wii U gamepad, like such a great use. So if there's software to go along with something, very Nintendo hardware wise, I'm totally on board for it. I don't know that 1-2 Switch was no Nintendo Land, and it was no Wii Sports, right? So I would be completely on board with any kind of gimmick as long as the software that goes along with it really shines. And Wii Sports was the reason the Wii sold so well, because you had every age group being able to bowl and golf and play tennis and have a good time with it. So I would love to see them be able to catch lightning in a bottle like they did with the Wii, while still having everybody that's playing Switch already. I feel like they could really grow those numbers if they were to somehow bring that Wii audience back into it, because that Wii audience consisted of, all the way to old folks' homes, right? So it was like it was a crazy time. So like I said, hardware wise though, if a GameCube controller and even the Wii remote and then maybe some kind of adapter for DS stuff, like this is the system I pray to the Nintendo gods that we can play every first party game on.
Man, I should have left you for last.
Highly bless you.
I should have left you for last because you did so many great points that could have been really good segues to the next.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I will try to segue.
No, you did really good, and the points you made were perfect. So they're awesome because it does depend on the software. The gimmick has to work well with the software in order to become a successful. Like the Wii remote, like you said, with Wii Sports was a perfect combination to take the Wii to another level. So yeah, really great points. Over to birthday girl DJ Josie J. What do you think about the hardware? Not techie, don't worry, because I know you're not techie, but hardware wise, what do you want to see, or what are your predictions?
For our regulars, what's my regular question every time we talk about hardware?
Does it play Zelda?
Does it play Zelda? That is my requirement for me to buy a system. Does it play Zelda?
Okay.
But I do like what a lot of you have said already. I wouldn't. one of the I feel good, really good about this direct because I feel like I have no idea what to really expect. I
Yeah.
think yesterday's direct was almost a test run of how they might do things. We're gonna show.
Say that.
No, but I mean that in a good way. In a good way. I liked yesterday's direct.
I'm messing with you, Jesse. I'm messing with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because what I mean is, like we think it's the end of the presentation, then Miyamoto jumps out. Hey, by the way,
Right?
we got a new app. You should like totally, So I kind of don't know what to expect next week. So I kind of like, what you guys were saying about maybe they will do a side-by-side comparison, because I have always said this: we have to know why we need a Switch. Gamers, we understand more power, better running games, even better than what we already were happy with. We understand that the regular public doesn't understand that all the time. I hope by calling it Switch 2, because that's something we've all been screaming since we found out it was a thing. So we're glad about that. There's that hint, and then I think showing the actual comparisons is something that they can also show off, like in game stores. Like, this is why you need the new shiny toy. It does this better than the old one. So that's how I feel about that. I know before I had thrown out some crazy prices of what this thing could cost,
But that's for the last topic.
and then I'm gonna save my opinion on that part for later. as far as games are concerned,
Hardware.
oh, I thought you said we also have to pick out hardware too. You said
We're talking about hardware.
the rules after I finally understand them.
No, we're talking about hardware features first, and then we'll go around, and then we'll come back.
Okay. Well, I require hardware to play Zelda, and that's it.
That's hilarious. Nintentalk, what do you think? Hardware. What's your predictions? What are you expecting?
Oh well, I started, but I do have more to add.
Wow,
I love it.
I'm Dory.
I don't think we need another gimmick, man. Like, we got the gimmick. It's the Switch, and the gimmick is the 2, man. The gimmick are the games. Like, we need good games. There's a lot of rumors about a second screen, and while I do like what Paul said, I don't know, man. I don't think we need all that stuff. Like, do we really need to play a 3DS game? No, go get a 3DS. I think the mouse thing is good. The C button, we don't know what that's going to be yet. But, like, the mouse is all we need. That's like a huge gimmick. That is huge. So
Probably like a cat thing. Cats. Something to control your cat. Control your cat. Your cat comes near you when you're playing Switch. You press the cat button and then just meow away like somewhere else.
No, the cat. No, the C button summons the cat, so it comes and sits and curls up on your lap.
Okay.
That's what the C button does.
All right.
Confirmed by nobody, but yeah.
All right. So Steve, what's your thing? What are you expecting to happen with hardware?
Okay. 4K docked. HDR screen,
Awesome.
1080p screen. It's going to be 120 hertz. I do believe all that's going to happen. I do think they'll show off mouse controls. They're not going to talk about DLSS, but for anyone who can see it, they'll know.
Yeah.
It's going to be present. I do think magnetic Joy-Cons will 100% check out. SD Express is going to check out. What I want to see, Switch 1 enhanced games, I want that to be a thing. And I say that plural, not just Metroid, not just Zelda. I want that to be something that is widespread and open to third-party developers to do a patch for the game. PlayStation's done it. Xbox has done it. I think they've done an excellent job with it. I've taken advantage of this on multiple games, probably at least 20 games. And it's far superior playing the PS5 version. It makes a huge difference, and it's always worth it.
Yeah.
Whether it's free, $10 or $20 sometimes, it's always been worth it. I want to see DualSense controller capabilities. Somewhere along those lines in my new Switch 2 Pro controller. The DualSense is an amazing controller, amazing piece of technology. I think it's the best controller easily on the market.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
so I'd love to see, I'd love to see Nintendo take advantage of that because I think they will be very creative. Nintendo and of course Monolith Retro. I think they do an excellent job with that sort of tech. Again, for hardware, I think this is going to play into hardware, and there's really not a category I can fit this into, but better eShop, trophies, achievements. I want to see all that. There are a large group of people who won't play games that are multi-platform on Nintendo because they want to get trophies or they want to get achievements and they're part of that ecosystem. And if Nintendo did their own ecosystem, then they won't lose anybody. They could really improve their sales. And I think third parties would be very happy. And you want to keep them happy.
Yeah.
Here's a big one that I really want to see is improved emulation. And what I mean by that is I think Nintendo should be the best place to play all of Nintendo's back catalog of games. I should not be able to play better versions of Nintendo games thanks to hobbyist weekend warrior developers who don't even do this as a job. People who work 40 or 50 hours a week somewhere else and they tinker on the weekend because it's their hobby and they're able to give me a better experience of a game that I love. Like I shouldn't be able to play Mario 64, Mario Sunshine at 60 FPS at 1440p, or Zelda at upscale to 1440p and 120 frames per second, Ocarina of Time. But I can. So what I would like is, Nintendo, can you please do this for us? Do this on NSO, please. Like you guys that should be the best place to play all of Nintendo's games. They're missing out right there. Yeah, because I think people would be much more willing to say, how much is NSO? 20? I would have given you 40 for this. I would have given you 50. This is awesome. Like, give us full screen NES games. With my analog NT, I can play NES games in 1080p full screen, right? I have the analog Super NT, same thing. I have the analog 64 or analog 3D pre-ordered. I'll be able to play Nintendo games, Nintendo 64, full screen, 4K. Give us something close to that with NSO. I know they can do it because again, if hobbyists can do this, surely Nintendo can. On top of that though, like retro achievements, that would be really fun to have. If they implement trophies and achievements, to have that with the retro games. I think that'd be a really good time.
Yeah.
Give us menu music again.
Yes.
Give us music in the eShop. Like, make it an enjoyable shopping experience. Right now, shopping in the eShop is not a good experience. I would never walk into the eShop in real life. It's a horrible experience.
Yeah.
So, like, fix that. Give us a better OS, obviously.
It's like Walmart.
Yeah, give us GameCube and Dreamcast on the NSO. That's something I'd really love to see. They're the same era. We already have Sega Genesis. In the past, we've had Sega Game Gear with the Virtual Console.
Yeah.
So give us some more consoles there.
And
you do all that, man. You do half of that, I'd be very happy.
that's a good segue to software because it's going into the software, right? So you want to go ahead and kick off with the launch titles. When I mean launch titles, it's at least three launch titles you think that have a possibility of coming out. Launch titles, basically, so far we know Mario Kart, but launch titles, 3 launch titles, potential launch titles, and 3 first party titles that Nintendo could release year one that you think are a must for Nintendo Switch to be a seller, a system seller on year one.
We want only Nintendo.
Yeah, so let's do this. Give me 2 of each. 2 launch titles, day one. Give me 2 year one titles, that system sellers, and give me 2 third party titles.
Okay. 2 launch titles. I'll give you Mario Kart and Metroid. and I really think Metroid needs to be there at launch and take advantage of the attach rate that you get
Yeah,
at a console launch. I mean, they see Ubisoft take advantage of that every single console launch. Metroid could really benefit from that. So those are my 2 Nintendo launch titles. Third-party launch titles. Elden Ring. I expect that.
Elden Ring, huh?
And I expect Final Fantasy VII Remake 100%.
Those are awesome. Yeah.
And then for the year 1 Nintendo titles, 2 more. 3D Mario.
Year
100%.
Year 1 title, 3D Mario.
100%. It's coming out this holiday for the 40th anniversary.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the other first party, I do think it would be a really smart move, and I'm sure this is something that would make Nintentalk clearly happy. But look, we've talked about it, Mike. You and I have talked to Josh. You and I have talked about this. We've talked about it. Paul, we've talked about this. We've all talked about this, right? In that Mario Kart is such a excellent evergreen title. It's your driver.
Yep.
And it can be. You know, you can literally add cups in Mario Kart as DLC from other Nintendo IP and advertise those games within a game.
Yep.
It's very smart. But it's an evergreen game. And Animal Crossing is very much an evergreen game, and you cut it off so early with Switch 1. I believed from the beginning there was a reason why they cut it off that early, because they want to get it out of the gate within that launch window. So the first year. And it would make a ton of sense to get that out early and to make this a game that is constantly updated, constantly new DLC, evergreen, just like Mario Kart. So those are my choices.
I like it. I like the fact that they can do with Animal Crossing what they did with Mario Kart and even Smash. Like, don't release every villager at the same time. Give us a core line of villagers, and then maybe later on introduce new villagers into the that would give us incentive to kick people out. And then
a consistent drip feed.
Yeah. With each new villager comes new accessories, new clothing, new things on the shop, new items too. So that'll be I like the idea.
Those titles help build the install base like very quickly.
I agree.
Hey,
all right,
I got a question real quick in Animal Crossing.
Go ahead.
Why they all come to our island and nobody pay rent?
That's
These
the big
are questions-
question.
These are questions that I have about Animal Crossing. I'm like, what do you mean I gotta pay for everything? You came to my island.
You're right.
Make rent great again in Animal Crossing next time, Nintendo.
It's loosely based on The Sopranos. They're all in the family.
Yeah. Shout out to Blue Mini for the 5. Thank you so much. This question is for everybody. Did yesterday's Direct change your mind at all on what you're now expecting for April 2nd Direct? I can say no. It didn't.
No, not for me.
Technically no, but I don't remember exactly what the rumor was. I think I got them confused, but apparently Metroid Prime 4 wasn't going to be there yesterday, or is not supposed to be there at the April 2nd thing.
But it was there yesterday. So
well, no, Metroid Prime was there yesterday,
and it wasn't going to be a second.
Is that what the rumor was? Because I don't believe that. At least I don't want to. Because I think it's going to show up big on April 2nd. I think that's when we're going to get the big, this is Metroid,
Yeah. The rumor was that Metroid wasn't going to show up at this direct.
Okay.
And it showed up. So
it changed my mind in the sense that me also considering that yesterday could have been the blowout for Metroid. That's what I was thinking. And I'm like, oh, but it makes sense that they're teasing it. We're still kind of chatting about it by next week, and then they have the big blowout. So that's one of the things I'm thinking and I'm hoping happens, because I want Metroid to have its moment.
Yeah, right. I agree. Anybody else? Did yesterday's Direct change your mind at all on what they could show on April 2nd?
No, but I did think of one more thing. which just I said it last week, but I forgot to say it earlier, and that was I'll make it quick. I'll try. What else could Metroid Prime 4 do to captivate a different audience that's not necessarily a big control gimmick or a multiplayer gimmick or something like spaceship control? And that could be something as simple as if the game is able to not be broken, but to be allowed to have the capability of completely playing through the entire experience in third-person perspective. Because that enough, seeing Samus from the back in a control, like I said, if it doesn't break the game, where you control the camera angle and stuff like that, because then that shifts things up a lot. But if it could have a third-person perspective, that could draw in a different audience, because some people just might not pick it up due to it being first-person, or because, dang, I really like to see my character, whether I get dizzy from that kind of stuff or just I just want to see the cool character. I just wanted to say that from earlier.
You know,
You're right. Why give us a red suit and not show the red suit when we're playing? Just the red.
Guys, a perfect comp for this though is Indiana Jones. It's an amazing game. I love it. It would have sold better if there was a option to play it in third person. You would capture a much larger audience. So 100%, Paul. There should be an option for that. That'd be a great way to boost sales dramatically, I think.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, Boomy, thank you so much for that $5 super chat. I appreciate your support. And we are now talking about software, right? Software.
Mm-hmm.
Year one software. 2 day one titles. 2 year one titles, and 2 third-party titles. I am Dory with my brain. So who was the last person who went?
I went first.
Okay. So then Josh, 2 day one titles that you would like to see, 2 year one titles, and 2 third-party titles on Nintendo Switch 2.
I'm gonna base this strictly on just how big of a fan I am for Smash and 3D Mario, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what I will say. I'm gonna preface it though, like I said, I think they're gonna show us the top 10, the top 10 best-selling games.
Yep.
But I think the biggest thing that we have to remember is they're gonna want to sell special edition consoles with almost every single one of those. So there has to be enough space between all of them that they can justify putting out. Because if you think about it, we had the first year we had the Switch launched, and then the Odyssey Switch, right? And somewhere along those through that first 2 years, there was a Diablo Switch. There was this a Splatoon bundle came out also, right? Like they had the different colored Joy-Con, and so they know. Like this popped into my brain when you guys were talking about Animal Crossing earlier in the show, and it's like that console sold so well that they made it like just part of the regular line. Like look at all the marketing material past 2020, and you almost see the AC console everywhere. And we had they didn't do that with anything else, right? The Smash console was like a one and done, like the Odyssey was a one and done. And so I think that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, the Mario Kart, Metroid, I completely agree with Stash. Like Metroid needs that extra boost of like, hey, I just bought the Switch 2, there's not a lot of games here, let me grab Metroid, right? That'll automatically help get more people playing it. Mario Kart's going to be massive, and I cannot wait, of course. For third party, I'm gonna go with probably kind of the low-hanging fruit, but I'm gonna go with Call of Duty and Madden.
Awesome. I like those 2 picks. See Madden.
Because I think if there was if we did somewhat of a poll, you would probably find that a lot of people that play COD play Madden, and those are kind of their only 2 games they buy every year.
Right.
And so just to be able to have those on the go, like whenever not that you're necessarily going to play COD on the go. Like I get it, the short throw on those sticks is not all that great, but like Madden is a perfect on the go game, like an absolutely perfect on the go game. So, but even running through campaigns and whatnot on Call of Duty, still would be fun in handheld.
Yeah, those
I
are
expect it. It's on my bingo card. Both those.
those are awesome picks. And let's go over Joycey. Joycey, give me two day one titles. Give me 2 year one titles, and then 2 third party titles you want to see on Switch.
I don't know. I just made a list. So this is what I came up with so far.
Okay.
I'm so literally excited for next week that I'm just kind of not let my brain really go far into it. I just set up my brain to say, if there's no Zelda, we are not disappointed.
That's right.
And that's the only speech I've given myself. Everything else I'm just going to be happy for. But my guesses are, of course, I think 3D Mario is going to be a launch game. I think Mario Kart is coming a little bit later in the launch year, because I think the Mario Kart that we saw in the Switch 2 reveal, whatever that was, teaser, I was like, that doesn't look like it's even done. So it's like somebody literally like did a quick little screen grab, not even from the final product or anything. And also I think it was a red herring to kind of, I guess, throw us off the scent. I feel like Nintendo after this last gen is like totally like, we're going to try to hide things or do things differently so they can't figure it out, or things can't slip out, or if they slip out, then they're wrong for the wrong time or something.
You're right. You're doing it.
That's 2. And then of course, Metroid Prime 4, I do think that's going to be a launch game. Now, if it's a launch title or if it comes a little bit later in the year, I don't know. It could work either way.
You're breaking my heart. Just want you to know that.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's okay.
We're cousins, okay?
All right, fair.
Best cousins ever.
Okay.
We all look just alike. But okay. I don't want to break anybody's heart.
No, I'm totally playing.
But I do think Call of Duty was on my list as well. Whether that's launch or it's going to be somewhere in the launch. And then I also think Final Fantasy. I don't know which one, but I think we're going to get some of the more recent games, because Square Enix, I swear, they're like dying to get something on Switch too.
For real.
They are.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, for real. I like it. All right, Paul, you ready for your 2 and 2?
Yeah. 2 launch from Nintendo. I think it's Mario Kart and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I think just Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is going to get a Nintendo Switch 2 version, especially after we saw that recent thing. You know what I'm talking about? Where there'll be Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games and Nintendo Switch 2 version games. I think Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is going to be those one that really touts the Nintendo Switch 2 version games. So there's that.
100.
I think it is, because it's been 11 years since the May Mario Kart 8 game. And even though most people got into Mario Kart 8 thanks to Deluxe, it's still been a long generation of that. 2 year one titles, Super Mario 3D, one of some capacity. And then I'm going to just say it because I want it to happen really bad, and that is a brand new Star Fox. The one that I've been talking about for a long time, a big, open, red Star Fox that takes a little bit of Starlink from Ubisoft, a little bit of Ratchet and Clank from Insomniac Games, and a little bit of Star Fox, and have this aerial combat, land combat, beautiful story, online multiplayer, like the whole shebang. So those are like my 4. And then 2 third party, only because I know of a couple of third party developers that are locked in. This is why I never answered this question completely. So I'm going to answer with some third parties that I don't know of, which is a little bit not as fun, but because I don't want to say any of the games potentially from third parties that I know of. And I don't even know the games necessarily. I just know the third party's locked in.
Just write it down and then just happen to hold it up on a whiteboard.
So I'll go with something that I don't know, but that I think will be there. At launch or in general? Okay, well, we'll go with in general. In general, Grand Theft Auto 6. I
Okay.
think GTA 6 comes over. I think it's a big powerhouse move, and I think that Shiver Entertainment that Nintendo acquired, it might be one of their big projects working directly with Take-Two and stuff like that. So I'm going to go with GTA 6. So I'm saying that because I don't know it, obviously. I wouldn't be spoiling anything. It would be not good.
Yeah, but also knowing that a developer is working on Switch 2, but not knowing the game is not technically a spoiler. Right?
I don't know. Well,
I'm trying to entice him to kind of
and the other game, I don't know of it, but I'm just going to say, yeah, a Call of Duty of some sort.
Okay. You Call of Duty of some sort. That's your third party support for
or Doom Dark Ages. I'll just say that because I don't know. Yeah. I don't know officially. So Doom Dark Ages or
Maybe.
Call of Duty of some sort, because both of those are under the Microsoft helm.
Yep.
And because those are pretty safe to say also, because
you
gotta assume that Microsoft's on there. So even if I knew something from Microsoft's already been committed for the next 10 years. So there's my out. You know what I mean? That one's kind of so, yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. Thank you, Paul. Those are good picks. Has everybody gone, or have I missed anybody?
Yeah, I didn't go yet. Yeah, I think launch game, you're gonna get your Mario Kart. I actually wasn't too impressed with what I saw. I gotta be honest. Like I was looking for like a next gen Mario Kart.
Yeah.
What I saw was like a reimagined. We got like a new looking Donkey Kong. So maybe it was the level choice, because they also showed like a dusty desert level. So maybe that wasn't the best. So yeah, I think we're gonna get Mario Kart. Makes sense. I mean, that's a great way to sell a console.
Mm-hmm.
I made a prediction video, and in my prediction video, I said, what about like a Mario Workshop type thing where it's like kind of like your Wii Sports thing, but it has to all do with the mouse. So you'll have like a new Mario Paint. You'll have I don't know, it'll be like a mini game collection. Some like budget title you can just pick up alongside Mario Kart. Something
I agree. We need that gimmick game that kind of is going to show off the new features, right?
Yeah, something like that. And then Metroid, I really do think so. I was on the fence for a long time, but it looks so far like it's done. The game is done. It's ready to, like, we need it. It's going to be, I really think that if they don't launch it with Switch 2, I think that'll be a mistake. You don't want to dump this game off randomly at the end of the year where it's like an afterthought. So yeah, give it its spotlight. That would be a great like 3 combo to have there. As far as third party, it can kind of be anything. I mean, everyone's going to be wanting to go on this. I think a couple games that would make a huge statement. College football, dude, that was like the biggest freaking third party game last year. The newest college football, I think you put on there Madden. I mean, some kind of sports game.
Mm-hmm.
And then Doom, just to show off again, like, we can handle these games. You need brand new third party games to really make a statement. So yeah, that's one. Year one games, I feel like not a lot of people are talking about this, and it might be too soon. Splatoon 4. I think Splatoon 4 comes over, man. And normally I wouldn't say that, but it's a new console. So like the timeline doesn't matter anymore. Put Splatoon 4 on. It's another multiplayer offering.
Mm-hmm.
Like Josh was saying, make a console for it. You get a little special edition. Nintendo loves their Splatoon. They want to be an esports brand so bad, but I don't know if Splatoon is going to be that, but yeah, Splatoon 4, put that on there. And then I do agree with the 3D Mario. I think it's the anniversary, dude. You got a 3D Mario. So yeah, and I do, regarding Animal Crossing, I think we do get a Rhythm Heaven type moment where they do announce it this year.
Yeah,
but it'll be 2026.
Okay. At least it shows up, and we'll get some kind of visuals from Animal Crossing. That'll make a lot of people happy. Make me happy. My girl's happy. It's an awesome game, dude.
Yeah.
Did you go over your third party support?
Yeah, college football, Doom.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Doom's definitely coming. I would put that's an easy bet. When I do my bingo card for Nate, and that's gonna be like one of my easy spots.
That's hilarious. And a shout out to Boo Mini for the 2 Hyrule Warriors with Echoes of Wisdom art style. That'll be something.
That'd be dope.
Little chibi character.
No.
Are we done with that art style? I think we are.
I mean,
Please, let's be done with it. Please.
I don't think we'll ever be done with Echoes of Wisdom. I think that we'll still have top-down chibi games coming. You know, especially if they remake A Link to the Past or any other retro game from the past that has kind of that image, right?
Yeah.
I like it. I like the A Link's Awakening. I like Echoes of Wisdom. I love it. So
I like the art style. Oh, sorry, Paul.
Don't do what you did with New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't overdo it.
Oh well, yeah. So I got my top two, and top 2. I will go ahead. Of course, Metro. I have to change to Metroid because I agree. Metroid at the beginning of the system, like at the launch title, will help the franchise sell more. Second title for launch year, I'm going to select another one that's not Mario. I'm going to go with Luigi's Mansion 4 for launch title. I'm going to go left field. So Metroid Prime 4 and Luigi's Mansion 4. Year one, I'm going to bring in Animal Crossing. Okay, Animal Crossing. And I'm going to bring in Mario Kart. Those are the top 2 selling games on Nintendo Switch right now. They're both top sellers. I think I'm agreeing with Joycey that Mario Kart might not be launch title, just because there is that rumor of the Nintendo Switch Mario Kart edition that they might want to push on the holiday season, then launch Mario Kart with that. You know. So it kind of makes sense if they do have that Mario Kart 9 Nintendo Switch version edition, which by the way, Mario Kart has never had an edition Switch. This will be the first one on Switch 2. Then they want to launch it alongside that. It's a big system seller, big holiday seller. So yeah, Mario Kart 9 and Animal Crossing will be year 1 titles.
Oh my god, dude.
And
Good luck getting a Switch too.
for real.
Gee.
I mean, don't they? Look at the balloons. They wanna sell systems. They want to push systems. They want to make sure that transition goes. If they can push as many systems as possible, the fastest possible towards Switch 2. Merge everybody out there. That's the best way to do it. Mario Kart and Animal Crossing. For third party support, since Final Fantasy has already been mentioned, I'm gonna go ahead with third party support. I am going to go with Doom Dark Ages because that was announced, and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Since that just launched, it's doing pretty well. Again, people are liking Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm playing it right now. I got a copy, free copy. I have to say it, free copy from Ubisoft. And so I'm going to go with those 2 titles. I could have gone anywhere else, right? But I think that third party support will make a big splash during the Nintendo Switch 2 presentation. Mm-hmm. Now, bonus questions for the chat before we go into a Q&A. Big surprise of the night or of the presentation.
Ooh.
Big surprise of the presentation. Try to be as surprising as possible. Surprising. Let's start with Nintentalk. Big surprise of the presentation.
Big surprise. I don't. Does anyone have like something they're thinking? I think it's the surprises are going to be games, so it's really hard to. Maybe
that
Zelda.
is a fact. I agree with this fact. The surprise will be a game.
Because it's Joycey's birthday, I'm going to say the big surprise is Zelda.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Let's speak it into existence, y'all. Let's speak it into existence.
I'll add one to that. Next year is a very special year for one of our legendary franchises. The 40th anniversary, in fact. Please enjoy. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time full big shebang remake.
Oh my god.
All right. That's a big surprise.
Please call it that. The full shebang remake.
That's a proper terminology.
The big shebang. Anyway. All right. So yeah. By the way, guys, before while we answer this, if you want to ask your question, we're gonna take at least 10 questions. 10 because we're gonna be here all night. We're headed to the 3-hour mark. So 10 questions. If you guys see any questions, Joyce, if you see any questions,
We going over pricing and stuff?
oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Let's go over that. Let's go over pricing. By the way, while we go over pricing, you guys can go ahead and go ahead and put your questions in the chat. We'll take up to 10 questions to answer right at the end, and then that'll be good. So, yeah, go ahead, Nintentalk. Pricing and pre-order date.
All right. I have the script from Nintendo, guys, if you don't want to be spoiled. Pre-orders will go up Friday the 4th. I think that's going to happen. And it will be $3.99 with a bundle that will also be available. Switch 2 and Mario Kart for $4.49.
Ooh,
Two SKUs.
I love that. I love those prices.
And that's a no-brainer because games are probably going to be like 70. So
Yeah.
you get the
Big ones.
bundle.
Yeah. I like it. What do you think, Thunderstash?
Would you go for the release date?
Ooh. Release date? I'm going to go like June. I think early June.
Early June. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Price point, release date, pre-order date.
Okay, yeah. So for price, $3.99.
Mhm.
There's a chance they could do multiple SKUs for sure. And I think it could have a pack-in title. And I do think it would be Mario Kart. I think it would be $4.49 if they do that.
Yeah.
With their digital games.
Yeah, it'll be digital.
game cart.
Unfortunately. Yeah. As far as date for pre-orders, I mean, I think it's either going to be on the 2nd or the 9th.
Okay.
That's the current rumor. The 9th entered, the conversation earlier today. And for the date, I'll stick with May 15th.
Okay.
It's probably gonna be June, but I'll stick with the logic.
Yeah. All right. And Paul, what do you think? We got a price, pre-order, and release date.
$400 or $399.99.
Yeah. Not $399.95 like in the 80s. $399.95.
I'll go with my usual. It's kind of a cop out, but between May 15th and June 27th.
I'd put money down on that. That's a great range.
It's a great range. It's pretty safe. And and a pre-order. I really like my Nintendo Switch Online limited time exclusive pre-order opportunity pitch, that whole thing. But I don't know if they'll do it. If they do it, I'll say April 3rd for 1 week exclusive for NSO members. If they don't, then I think April 4th is just fair. So if they do it, I think they go April 3rd through April 9th. It's just for NSO members to lock it in. And then publicly, boom, April 9th for everyone, for all retail outlets and all that stuff. If they don't do that whole NSO idea, then I think just it goes everywhere like April 3rd or 4th.
Okay.
So once again, not definitive on my answer, but
It's a good answer. It's a good answer. Answer's an answer. All right. And Joyce, price, pre-order, and release date.
I think $3.99 like everybody else.
No.
$4.50 at the highest, but I know that Nintendo doesn't usually like to go too close to what the other consoles are doing. Pre-order, I think pre-order is going to happen anywhere from that same day to a week to the following week. Or so if it doesn't happen that day, then I think it'll be the following week. And then as far as actual release, I know what the rumors say. The rumors are saying May, and I know there's a June rumor out there. And I just kind of feel like anytime May through June makes sense. Really, anytime after the April 2nd Direct to me makes sense because, okay, if they were to drop pre-orders April 2nd and then they're shipping them out the end of April, that makes sense to me too.
Yeah.
The stuff's there's a whole lot of shipments already here and it's an extremely quick turnaround time. So I can see that, but then I can also see why it would be May. So give us a chance to push the system. In June, everybody's, going, a lot of people for summer break are going on summer vacations. Kids are out of school, families are taking off of work, and go on vacation. They want to get this in your hand while you're, out and about. So that's what I think. Watch us be all wrong. It all happens all on April 2nd. We have to pre-order. Yeah, it's like $700. It's on we pre-order and we have to go pick it up from the same day.
Can you imagine? Wow.
No, I hope not. But
Josh, what do you think, Josh? Pre-order. Starting price, pre-order date, and release date.
I think 350.
350.
Wow.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and I think that because, again, if we've all watched consoles through the generations, right?
Yep.
And they've been up and down. Probably the best that we've ever seen is from PS4 to PS5, right? Where, and yeah, that did have a price increase, but Nintendo's on the verge of selling the most consoles they've ever sold. And they hit the sweet spot on pricing to end up putting multiple Switches in houses. If you start getting into that $400 and above, you're going to I think they will seriously lower the amount of multiple purchases that people will do.
Yeah.
Right now, down the road, there's going to be probably a Switch 2 Lite, and with the fact that they're doing digital cards now, there's probably going to be a digital only version at some point. But $350 is the same price as the OLED, which is $50 more than the original Switch. So that is a price increase technically if you just base it off of the screen. And it does give them the opportunity to drop the price of their other consoles. I could be completely off and they may keep everything the same and just add $50 to it, but they did write a beautiful formula on how to sell. I don't know how they're going to get a pandemic to happen again, but if they can figure that out, of course that will help just to hit at the exact right time when the new Animal Crossing launches. But I do think there's a possibility that they keep it low because they've always sold older tech to keep so they can still make a profit.
Yeah.
Right. Switch was probably a 4-year-old Amazon Fire tablet before it became a Switch, right? And they slapped controllers on the side and said, "Here we go." And we've been playing it for 8 years. So again, I'm more hoping that it's 350 for the fact that I think that's really a sweet spot for having multiple, because 2 of those is $700, right? That's still a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but that's also the price of the PS5 Pro. And so
without a drive and without a stand.
So that's kind of where I'm sitting at that. As far as the pre-orders, with the news that came out today, the 9th does make sense. So I'll sit with that one. And then what was the other?
The release
actual launch date?
Yeah.
I hope it's sooner than later. I'm ready for new Mario Kart. I'm banking on there being a new Mario Kart, and I'm ready to play some Mario Kart. So I'm gonna go with a stash and say the 15th.
Okay,
that'd be crazy.
That sounds good.
All good guesses.
Sounds good. That sounds good. Did I go over everyone? I'm Dory, so I don't remember if I. Has everybody answered the Nintentalk? Did you answer the pre-order?
He started it.
Steve.
Yeah.
And then Paul and Joycey. So just me left.
Yeah.
Okay.
You haven't gone yet.
Okay. So I have to say this because I've said it before. I have to agree with Josh. I've been saying that Nintendo normally waits for tech to go down in price before they jump, and purchase, chips and screens, and you see what they did with the LCD screen to keep costs low. They could have gone with OLED. There's no reason why not, right? And so with that, I've always said, okay, so it's $349 to $399. They might, if they eliminate the OLED, like we've been talking about, they might just remove the OLED and keep the base model and the light. If they remove the OLED, that's a good starting point. $359, $359, and just okay. That's the new OLED, the new OLED, which is still the next gen system for the current model. For a surprise point, I'm going to go $359 to $399, but $359 the lowest. For my sake, so that I can buy one for myself and my girls. The pre-order date, I'm going to say this. Have your money ready by April 2nd. Don't believe all the other dates out there. I know there's a lot of dates out there, but it's always better to be careful and be safe and be ready than not to be ready, right? And, you have your money ready, your pre-order money ready for April 2nd. The worst thing that could happen is it's the following week. Well, you're still ready, right? But if you're not ready by April 2nd, the worst thing that can happen is that the pre-order starts on April 2nd, and then you're not ready to pre-order, and the first batch of pre-orders sell out, and then you have to wait. Then
you gotta buy it out of someone's van. You don't want to do that.
Yes, yeah. So that's why I keep saying I know they're like today. So many dates out there with pre-order. I don't mess around. Like, guys, just think about this. Just plan for April 2nd. I don't want to be the cause somebody misses out or say, wait, I have a couple. Oh yeah. Oh really? That's the rumor. I can wait. I'll just wait a couple more weeks. Yeah. I have till then to save money. No. Be ready for April 2nd because you never know. So be ready for April 2nd. Release date. I'm gonna go with Steve. I'm gonna go May 15.
All right.
May 15. With that one, I don't think Nintendo's gonna wait too long from this presentation to release. I think they're gonna be quick. And have that system in their hands in a matter of no time, and it's be awesome. So yeah. Let's go ahead. We have 7 questions, so we can go ahead and answer these questions. Let me go ahead and Boomini, thank you so much for that super chat. Do you think they will show or tease a Zelda game next week? If so, which one?
Oh,
you wanna answer it, birthday girl?
So my thought process is, I feel like they, after listening to everybody tonight, I kind of feel like they will show something. If I had to really like guess, because of the fact that Anuma said no comment in that article when they asked him if there was an Ocarina of Time remake.
Yep.
If I were a betting woman, I would bet that we would get the big shebang, however Paul put it. Ocarina of Time. The only other thing that I can see that makes sense is, of course, more movie news. Well, all of these make sense. More movie news. We get a tease of the next big game, because that's all the Zelda fan base needs to keep them talking for about a year and a half.
Exactly.
Or it could be a remake or port of Twilight Princess Wind Waker.
Okay.
Which I'm not going to be crazy excited about if it's just a port.
All right. And the next question is also for you, Doisy. If you were to have a remake, would you want to be open world like Breath of the Wild, or just keep it the original with the original roots?
No, with the games that are already out there and been out there, we need to keep the original roots. So, and Paul has talked about this a lot of times. So have I. And poor Mike just has to listen to us crazy Zelda fans. Ocarina of Time would be so great. Make the colors pop a little bit more, make it a little prettier, if you will, but keep the soul of the game. Keep it colorful. Keep it, the little sounds that little Link makes. It's cute, but add more to the gossip stones.
Okay.
There's way more lore now that we have to play with. There's more lore that we know about Ocarina of Time than the game knew at the time. Utilize your gossip stones. I want my light temple dungeon. Kind of got a light medallion for free. I think it's time to give us a full dungeon. It was in the original, I think, makings of Ocarina of Time, but they had to scrap it. Give us more side quests. I'll go find another 100 Skulltulas. That's fine. But just kind of flesh it out more. Put things there that maybe weren't there before, but keep everything else mainly the same.
I agree. I actually agree with Ocarina of Time. I agree they should keep the same, the linear of the game. Keep it the same. You know, it doesn't have to be open world.
And I know you asked about open world. I apologize, Mike. One sec. I know you asked about open world, but I don't think I think we need to move forward with that idea and let the old games kind of be what they are, and maybe just punch it up a little bit if they're going to be remade. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
No, I agree with that. This is exactly what I just said. Same thing. So, yeah. All right.
One of us has to leave soon, so I wanted them to make sure that they say goodnight before they go.
Yeah. Can you? You have to leave right now, or can you? I got like 3 more questions.
I've got homework to help out.
Okay. Yeah. That is very understandable. So yeah, you can find Paul Gill Network everywhere on Twitter, on X, on Facebook. He has his countdown going on for the Nintendo Direct, and apparently he started his 400-day countdown for
128 days
for the Zelda movie. So yeah, so find Paul Gill Network at everywhere. You can find Paul Gill Network. Like just type Paul Gill Network on Google, and you'll find them everywhere.
MySpace, you know.
Yeah, MySpace.
Cool. Thanks for the outro. Good talking to you all.
Yeah.
Happy birthday one more time, Joycey. Chat, enjoy. Have a good rest of your night.
All right. Thank you, Paul.
See you, Paul.
See you later.
Take care, man. All right. So Call of Duty, GTA, Switch 2 sell tens of millions of Switch 2 consoles. What do you guys think? Will Call of Duty and GTA on Switch sell more systems?
100%.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Without a doubt.
Mhm.
I agree. Yeah.
The convenience alone of being able to take it everywhere is what's going to sell people who are fans of those games, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. 3 most memorable moments from the Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. I have not finished that game. Putting the cap on, I guess. Becoming really small, right? Is that what it's about? Become really tiny.
I barely remember Finish Cap. I need to replay it now that it's on NSO.
Yeah, that's a good one that they can remake in the style of
HD 2D. That's a remake I'd pay $70 for.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. I take it back.
That's from the ground up. No, don't take it back. That's from the ground up.
No, I'm saying you're right. I prefer the HD 2D rather than the chibi version from A Link to the Past. But yeah. All right. Next question. Do you think we'll be seeing announcements of Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 for Nintendo Switch 2?
Yes, it's on my bingo card.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Stash has spoken.
Yeah, I think
Especially Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Capcom loves Nintendo.
Yep. Bandai Namco, Tekken 8.
That'll be awesome.
Bandai Namco, Nintendo, best friends, man.
Yeah. Yesterday was a Bandai Namco show, so.
Yeah, there was like
Technically, yeah.
5 games.
Yeah, and one thing that Nintendo will make sure they do by the end of that Direct is to let you know that third-party support is present on Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the last question, what's everyone's predictions for the first 3 special edition system?
That's a good question.
I want to
That's
say Mario Kart.
Yep.
I want to say Animal Crossing, and the other one's going to be Mario.
40th anniversary of Mario. Gotta be there.
Yeah.
End of the year.
Okay. I think Mario Kart's right. I think Mario, and I think next year we get a Zelda console for Zelda's 40th.
Awesome.
Mario, Splatoon, Pokemon. That's always the best bet.
Oh my God. You can't forget about Pokemon.
Yeah. Low hanging fruit right there for sure.
Yeah, for real.
We're probably going to get a lot, right?
Yeah.
Think about it.
I hope so. Yeah.
Animal Crossing is going to be in there too, because like I got my girl the Animal Crossing
The Switch, yeah.
Switch. Yeah, like I think that's going to sell really
They had
well.
Switch
People are
Lights
gonna
too
want that.
for AC.
For real, they got two of them. Two of them or three of them, right?
Yeah, two different ones.
And Josie, you wanna pick out your 3 edition Switches? Zelda?
I do think Zelda will be one of them.
Zelda, and Zelda. Is that what you're gonna say?
They won't. I know they won't do that, but that'd be really cool if they did. Right?
Hey, we got two Zeldas on Switch 1.
That is very, very true. So I still, all I want is for a better design. Pull some of these artists from Twitter and everything that have these awesome, amazing ideas,
amazing mock-ups,
and pay them to just color on Switches because they're doing a fantastic job. Splatoon, I think we'll get one because I think that's a higher market one. So is a Zelda, and I think we'll get a Mario one for sure. Doesn't mean we won't get any others, but as far as within the first year or two, those are the ones that I think that can get it.
Yeah, for that Zelda anniversary, I want them to release a gold cartridge, kind of going back to the first.
That'd be cool.
Yes. But a small gold cartridge to celebrate.
Nintendo, make me a gold and green actual Switch 2. Go all out on it like you did the Lite. Okay, so for y'all that aren't here every week, Mike knows this. I bought a Zelda Switch Lite. I have not even opened the box.
Me neither.
It's too pretty to open.
It's Zelda. Of course I bought it.
Yeah.
And I don't even I'm not even when the Lite itself came out, I was like, I'm never gonna need a light, like for what? So I never even paid attention. But all I want is that kind of perfect design on an actual on the big boy system. That's it. Because when I got my Zelda Switch 1, I was like, this is it. Okay. I paid 300 or something bucks for this, but okay.
Yeah. And everybody got their 3 editions in?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So those are the questions for tonight. I have to say, guys, my friends, this is historic. You know why? This is the final podcast before the Nintendo Switch 2 is completely revealed, thus culminating the Nintendo Switch era. Super grateful. I am super grateful for what Switch has brought to us and what all the experiences that it has given us. And with that bittersweet, I'm ready for Switch 2. Who's ready? Who's ready with me?
Ready.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My body's been ready, you know.
My body is ready for Switch 2. And without further ado, I want to introduce the all-star cast from tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start out with Nintentalk. Where can we find you? What you got going on this week?
Yeah, you can find me everywhere at Nintentalk. I've been putting out a lot of videos. I put like 3 videos out last 3 days.
Awesome.
And starting midnight, right before the direct, I will be doing a stream overnight because I'm not gonna sleep and you're not either. So if you want to come hang out, like,
can we visit each other's stream?
Please. Oh, you're gonna be doing one too?
Yeah, we do like the overnight thing.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
I will come
get on a call.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
I'll come in my pajamas.
I'm literally gonna be wearing like pajamas. I literally bought like a striped pajamas.
Damn.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, go check out Nintendo. We got the Jammy Jams overnight live stream on the Switch 2 Eve. All right, and over to N64 Josh. Thank you for being here. What you got going on? Where can we find you?
Yeah, N64 Josh everywhere. Lots of videos, lots of podcasts going out over on YouTube and Spotify. Nice. Still streaming on TikTok when I get the chance. Been a little busy as of late, but still going strong over there as well.
Nice. All right, yeah, go check out N64 Josh on YouTube, TikTok, podcast, everywhere. He has his daily news show as well with a lot of good information. You gotta check out. Highly recommend the guys go check him out. And then going over to the center here, the birthday girl, Zelda's mama. Where can we find you?
Hey guys, I like Zelda, and you should too, all of you.
Where else?
Because remember, you deserve good games. You can follow me on Twitter because I will never call it
X.
And I am at DJ Joycey. I'm not always active, but if you drop me a line and have a Zelda question, I am happy to answer and always chat.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Joycey. Happy birthday. I hope you've had a wonderful day today. Your birthday. I mean, like getting the Zelda announcement for the movie on your birthday is just crazy. This is a birthday you'll always remember, right?
I actually will.
That's awesome.
Because
awesome.
the movie is coming for my 45th birthday.
Crazy.
So, yes.
There you go. And then last but not least, Steve Thunderstash. Thunderstash. Oh.
Yeah, that is a great intro, man. Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Thunderstash Gaming, and you can find me on Twitter at Thunderstash YT. And yeah, I review video games. I review new and retro video games. I'm working on my review for Assassin's Creed Shadows. And that's, man, I am so busy. We are all so busy.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's been covering everything going on with Switch. So I'm sure you guys all know too. It's like, man, this is tough to get out content. Like, I gotta try and take down Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is a very long game. It's a Ubisoft open world game.
Yeah.
Between that and podcasts, the Switch 2 stuff, and working the other job, it is crazy busy, but it's a lot of fun. So yeah, come check me out over there. I have tons of reviews. I have over 100 game reviews on my channel.
That is awesome. Yeah, I recommend Thunderstash Gaming over on YouTube. He's about to get 100K, if not already. Going to 100K on his channel. Amazing reviews, amazing content. Highly recommended. Congratulations in advance, because I know you're going to get there really quick.
Thanks.
Very quick.
Thank you. Yes,
and,
thank you. And happy birthday again, Joycey.
Joycey.
Yes.
And of course, you can find me here every day at night at the Odyssey, Monday to Friday. News. What was that? Monday to Friday. I got news. I'm working on bringing back reviews. I got myself a little prompter here so that I can write my scripts for my reviews and read them there, right there. The text is this big. I have issues because the text is like this big. So I'm like, the scrolling down is like, okay, there's one sentence, scroll down. One sentence, one line, scroll down, one letter, scroll down. That's how big it is. But yeah, there's a lot more content that I'm trying to work on for the channel coming to you soon, right? We have the next what day is it? Wednesday, right? Wednesday is the direct. Yeah, so Tuesday we'll be live streaming here all day, just going crazy and nuts for Switch 2, and then of course streaming the day of. We're doing a Nintendo Switch 2 giveaway on the channel already. So if you you just have to be subscribed. That's it. Just subscribe. There's not really much with that. And of course, join our Discord. That way I can contact you directly and then get the deets and stuff. Other than that, this summer, we'll be hosting Indie Mania on IGN Summer of Games. This is going pretty well. We're hosting. We're doing a big show this year. I'm having a meeting this week with the reps over at IGN where we might have one bigger show instead of 3 little small shows. So one big show. That way it'll be one big live stream. We can cover the best and most crazy games out there. And so everything is going well. Thunderstash Gaming is with us. Steve is with us, and Paul not here, but we'll be in studio in Los Angeles recording this May. So it'll be awesome. Hope you guys can catch that. What happened? Did something different? Something different. Oh, I hit a button and it hit the chat. So I was like, okay, that's what it did. All right, my friends. Thank you guys so much for watching. You have been watching the Nintopics Podcast with one of the best crews ever. Make sure to catch our guests on their channels and support them well. Subscribe to everyone. And I'll see you in the next adventure here at the Odyssey. But before we let you go, we got 2 very important things we got to let you know. Listen, there's 2 things. Two things. Number 1. What is it? What is it, Josh? What's the number one, Josh? What is it, Josh? What's the number one?
He's muted.
This is my second day. I don't. I don't.
Josh, what is it, Josh? What's the number one?
I love you.
I'll take it.
What can't people do? What shouldn't people do? What something they can't do.
I know. You know,
Great.
What is it? What is it? Give Josh a hint, Steve.
Never give.
think about John Cena.
Think about John Cena.
Okay.
Well, John Cena kind of gave up already, so I was like,
Never give up.
never. Give
That's
up.
right. Don't do that
Okay,
because we
all
need
right.
you.
Never give up. Never give up. And I think Nintentalk knows this one.
Save money because Switch 2 is going to be expensive.
And that's the one.
Yes,
That's
very
right.
good advice.
That's a good one. And journey on, my friends. All right. Thank you guys for watching while I find the end button because it takes me a while. I lose it sometimes and okay, that's the intro. Where's the outro button? I'm looking for it. It's coming. Don't worry. It's always there. Let's see here. All right.
I'll never forget. On top of never giving up, I'll never forget.
never forget. Never give up. Journey on. Never forget. Okay. All right, guys. Peace.
Peace.